Tuesday I
Oh,
go
you're
back.
working tonight?
No, I go back Tuesday. I work 5 in the morning, bro.
Oh,
Hey.
wow. You still cooking, bro?
Yep.
Yeah, cooks have to
Nice.
get up. Usually cooks have to start real early, especially when they're doing breakfast and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
will
we're live
never
now,
work
just to
one
let you
again.
guys know. Just to let you guys
What's that?
know, we are live now. So just
Oh,
wanted to let you guys know that. Sorry, I didn't know you guys wanted to talk a bit before we started. It's just we're kind of late. People are waiting in the background. So thanks for being here tonight, guys. Got a good friend of mine, Melvin, who doesn't come in very often. So glad to see him here. Adam, as usual, great guy. His wife, Corey. And tonight we're talking about the lost books of the Bible, specifically the book of Enoch, I guess, but there's a few other ones involved in this category. So Melvin's kind of the in-house expert on Enoch. I'm actually making a video right now that should be ready in a day or two on the book of Enoch. So if it's not a live one, it'll be released just as an upload. But yeah, man, thanks, guys. Let's, Melvin, you can start off if you want. I know you wanted to say some stuff about Enoch, bro, so I'll let you.
No, y'all can go real quick. Y'all can go real quick. I'm about to be I just got my plate, so I'm about to be eating a little bit.
Oh, okay, cool. Just whenever you're done eating, just let us know, bro, and you can jump in. So yeah, man, Adam, you were kind of studying a bit of biblical stuff. Did anything interesting ever come up in your studies about these lost books of the Bible? And Adam is muted, but I guess you're on mute, Adam. Okay.
sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so I actually believe like the book of Enoch and the missing books of the Bible should be in the Bible, and they were taken out either to be hidden or because it would make the Bible too long of a read. The Bible that I use actually links a lot of things to the Apocrypha.
They took the book of Enoch out because the Jews didn't want it in there because it gives references to the Messiah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I always thought the book of Enoch, it was under it was my understanding that the book of Enoch was never actually in what we call the Bible as we know it today, but I don't know everything. I could be wrong about that. So
it was in the original King James. I think the 1611 original
1611
King James. Correct me if I'm wrong, Melvin.
It was in the 1611 King James, yes, before they took it out.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Just like they took out the book of Jasher, the book of Jared.
The thing is, it was never part of the Tanakh, right? So
no, it was. Yeah, because it gives prophecies about Moses.
Sure?
It gives prophecies about Abraham.
You sure the book of Enoch was in the Tanakh?
Yes, it was, Nick.
I believe a lot of the Apocrypha was, hey, like
Jew wouldn't have quoted Enoch all them years, thousands and thousands of years. Jew wouldn't have quoted Enoch if it wasn't in the Tanakh.
So just did a little fact check here that says no, it was not in the Tanakh. I'm not trying to argue with people.
That's what they say. Okay, but Jew quoted Enoch verbatim.
I know he did. I know there was like a sentence that was quoted in Jude from Enoch.
Talks about the angels that fell.
I know. It says, I'm just looking at it right now. It's Jude. I'm working on
literally chapter 2.
Literally working on a video about the book of Enoch, and I just got to that part. It was, where was it? What did you say?
Jude 14:18. Jude 1:14-18.
Yeah, that's right. But just because like people say certain things from certain writings that were around doesn't, like, I'm just saying, like, it wasn't part of the Tanakh according to like every source out there. So I'm not saying that it was wrong. It was right to like remove it or not add it to the Bible. I'm just simply saying that it was not part of the Jewish Tanakh.
I believe that
they don't accept the Messiah. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
The apostles reference the book of Enoch, the Torah, and the prophets.
And Enoch gives prophecies about what Abraham was going to do. He gives prophecies about what Moses was going to do. He gives prophecies about what happened to Israel. and he gives prophecies about the end times, and he also talks about the creation account.
So it was excluded from the Tanakh and the Septuagint, and it was not considered a sacred work by mainstream Judaism. Now, maybe that's because, like you said, because they disagreed with stuff that it said about the Messiah or whatever.
No, because they don't accept the Messiah. Think about it.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I'm not disagreeing with you, but
David always disrespecting the Messiah.
Yeah, for sure he is. I know. Do you know what's cool is there actually found fragments of the Book of Enoch written in Aramaic in the Dead Sea Scroll find.
Yeah, I was telling you that. It wouldn't have got found with all them other scrolls because Jeremiah was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, Daniel was found. So why would it be in there if it didn't belong in the Bible? So that tells you that it was a Hebrew text because think about it. Enoch was literally the first prophet on the earth. He was the first prophet. So
yeah, I agree with you, bro, for sure. You know, it's just sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, why would they take out, in Revelation 22, right?
Yeah, I can bring it up
in there. Anybody that take any of the books out of the prophecy, Enoch had prophecy. So they basically removed prophecy from the Bible. Oh. And that's the dangerous game to play.
But apparently it was never in like the mainstream Bible. I don't know.
It was.
They say that, but it was, Nick. It was. If it was
written, but it wasn't in the Greek Septuagint or the Tanakh, is what I'm saying.
It don't matter. They wasn't Greeks. Of course not. They were Hebrew.
I know, but the whole New Testament was written in Greek, bro. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, the whole Old Testament was written in Hebrew.
Yeah, the Old Testament, yeah, for sure.
So Enoch was in Genesis 5, right? That's in the Old Testament, in the Tanakh.
Yeah, it talks about Enoch. I'm not doubting Enoch was a real person. I just don't know. I just think we don't have like any proof like how old the original Book of Enoch that we have is today or whatever, like when it was written.
Do like the Bereans. Read the scripture to see if everything is true. That's what they had to do. They didn't just go off believing what somebody told them. They were like, oh, no, I got to go to the scripture for this.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. I don't know why the early Christians and the Jews back then didn't accept it as canonical. Maybe it's because it had like some information that they didn't want getting out.
It talks about what they're doing today.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Yeah. It mentions what pastors and preachers are doing today. So why would they want that out?
Yeah, that's right. Like maybe there was some secret information in there that they didn't want getting out, or like some hidden knowledge or something. But it's definitely interesting.
There's truth in there.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into this. I feel fat.
What are you eating, bro?
Chicken breast and fries.
Nice. Chicken breast is always good.
All right, so look, let's get into this.
I don't know about you, Melvin, but I believe the 35 book Apocrypha was supposed to be in the Bible.
I believe that too, because all them books that they say they took out, they give you more information. Like, okay, I always say this all the time, right? We get this story, right? Enoch walked with God and was and was not, for God it took him. All right, that's it. But if you look at stuff like the book of Jasher, right? They got a book of Jasher. And the book of Jasher talks about exactly where Enoch was taken from, and it alludes to Enoch being in Antarctica when he was taken up to heaven. Because it says right here, let me share my screen so everyone can see. Let's see here.
Who was in Antarctica? What? Say that again?
Enoch was in Antarctica when he was taken up.
Oh, okay. Is this going to be like part of your flat earth stuff?
No, this is going to be a part of let's see what's true stuff.
But why Antarctica? That's kind of strange, isn't it? It's really far away from like Judea and everything.
The guy can teleport, dude.
Yeah, I was showing Enoch. The Most High was showing Enoch stuff. That's why he was in Antarctica. He was taking a journey from
And
Hello?
that's end of the great Melvin. He obviously dropped out, and I'm sure he'll be back.
I miss talking to that guy. He's actually quite informative. Okay, so when I read what I would recommend is the Bible that I use, because it link and then get a copy of the 35 book Apocrypha, because the Bible that I use will fill in the gaps of Scripture. You know, the kind of stuff that's kind of confusing. That
Mhm.
it actually directly references in the commentary notes. Uh, um, and fills in all the gaps, man. When you read the entire Bible accompanied with the Apocrypha, it opens up so much more information. Like, it just blows you away.
Hmm.
I would highly recommend the Dake Annotated Reference Bible. It only comes in two translations, King KJV and New King James Version.
Hmm.
Yeah, my bad. I was trying to get this screen to share, and I accidentally pressed the wrong button.
I do that all the time.
No
All right,
problem,
let's see
buddy.
here. All right, here we go. All right, let's start with this real quick because I want to bring this up because I just mentioned it. So this is the book of Jasher right here. I got my screen shared down there. If you want to pull it up.
Yep. Here you go.
Let me see. Could y'all see that?
Yep, I can.
All right, so I'm gonna just get to the whole point of why I'm bringing this up because so this is the book of Jasher, and what is that? Joshua 10. It mentions the book of Jasher. It's talk about some stuff that was in the book of Jasher dealing with something else, but it says here, and the second day he said unto them, return to your homes. This is when he about to be taken up, right? Because up top he telling them, you know, God about to take me, you know. So it says right here, and the second day he said unto them, return to your tents. Why will you go? Perhaps you may die. And some of them went from him, and those that remained went with him 6 days' journey. And Enoch said to them every day, return to your tents, lest you may die. But they were not willing to return, and they went with him. And on the 6th day, some of the men remained and clung to him, and they said to him, we will go with thee to the place where thou goest, as the Lord liveth. Death only shall separate us. And they urged so much to go with him that he ceased speaking to them, and they went after him and would not return. And when the kings returned, they caused a census to be taken in order to know the number of remaining men that went with Enoch. And it was upon the 7th day that Enoch ascended into heaven in a whirlwind with horses and chariots of fire. And on the 8th day, all the kings that had been with Enoch sent to bring back the number of men that were with Enoch in that place from which he ascended unto heaven. And here it is right here. And all those kings went to a place, and they found the earth there filled with snow, and upon the snow were large stones of snow, and said one to another, come, let us break through the snow and see, perhaps the men that remain with Enoch are dead and are now under the stones of snow. And they searched but could not find him, for he has ascended into heaven. So that's what the book of Jasher says right there. Now, when you think about a place filled with snow and large stones of snow, the only place I could think of is Antarctica.
Yeah,
100%.
maybe, but why is that relevant though? Like, does that have to do with your flat Earth theory or the ice wall?
No,
I'm just curious.
That deals with, you know, this is why I'm saying the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because we get in the Bible, Enoch walked with God and was not, for God had took him. This is telling us exactly where Enoch was taken from.
Oh, okay. Well, that's crazy.
So it's telling, you know, it's something they removed from the Bible that could be a key to some other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because even in the book of Enoch, I gotta share my screen again. in the book of Enoch, it's talking about, going through the, journey of the earth and Sheol and all this stuff that he was seeing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how he was shown, revolution of the lights, because we already went over the fallen angel part, right? So that's like kind of beating a dead horse to keep going over that when there's all this other stuff in here that explains parts of the Bible that we don't have, right?
Oh, for some reason your screen came out. There, he's back up now.
All right. Nick, you gonna hate me though. You might hate me for this.
I'm pretty much expecting it. So
okay, so this is talking about.
I don't hate you. I love you, bro. I'm just not a flat earther. But go ahead, say your stuff.
All right, so this is what I find interesting, right? Because this is Enoch talking about stuff, right? But the only thing I'm bringing this up for is because we don't have 365 days in the year, man.
No,
it's 364 days according to Enoch.
Yeah.
Well,
365 is the Roman calendar.
All right, so this is talking about. I'm trying to look for something here. I was basically trying to look for how many times Christ was mentioned here, because it talks about him a lot in this second parable.
Yeah, I don't know why we switched over to a solar calendar. In the lunar calendar is what they used to use. There was 354 days.
Hold on, I'm gonna read.
Sorry,
this.
Go ahead. Yeah, I won't take.
I'm gonna read this excerpt because I'm gonna answer that question right now with this excerpt that this dude wrote here. That's the third parable. So it's the second parable up there. So this is why, right? Let's go all the way down. I wanted to do this in order, but I'm kind of skipping ahead. See this here?
Mm-hmm.
From the beginning, that Son of Man was hidden. This is why they took it out. We will fall down before him on their faces and worship, and they will set their hopes on that Son of Man, right? Because this is why they took it out back then, because it talks about the Messiah coming to the earth and what he was going to do and all like that. Before there was any other prophecy about him, Enoch was the first prophet that talked about it. We're going to go back to that, though, but I just want to answer that question because this dude, I found it very fascinating. I was going through this and I was looking at this dude notes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I found it very fascinating here. It's called the storehouses. This is what Enoch
I remember this.
So it say right here, right?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Where the snow comes from?
No.
Oh.
It was something else that I was trying to bring up in this note.
Today we would probably call it a UFO rather than a chariot. Where are you reading this from? Just curious. So this is
this is the dude notes. He talking about the notes right here. It's just going over. It's like it says Enoch often mentions storehouses throughout the book. Storehouses were probably first introduced to Enoch's people by the runaways. Since they were considered as angels, their storehouses were probably considered divine and magical. I wouldn't say magical. Many people probably believe that the storehouses created the goods that were stored inside them. Enoch probably knew better in that sense. He may have been the keeper of the records and inventories. However, he does not seem to regard storehouses. He does seem to regard storehouses as basic to God's way of distributing natural things such as weather.
Gotcha.
So we know the Most High. So they saying that what he's basically saying here is at the beginning, he again describes his journey in 772 and 3. He was lifted on a chariot of the spirit, and they went northwest. And then he says, I assume this is some kind of flying machine today. We would probably call it a UFO rather than a chariot of the spirit. So that's what people would say a UFO is what he's saying. In our
He
day,
doesn't believe that it was God. He thinks it was a UFO, is what he was saying.
no, what he's saying is what we see today would be considered a UFO, but to Enoch, it was a chariot.
I thought it said the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, it was a macabre. Macabre?
Yeah,
Beginning describes his journey and however lifted on a chariot or the spirit and went, I assume this was some kind of flying machine. Today we would probably call it a UFO rather than a chariot of the spirit.
Yeah, because up here say that they believed
it was flying machine.
They believed it was chariots.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where this whole little thing of the chariots or UFO stuff.
Yeah, but wasn't it like the spirit of God? Like it wasn't a flying machine. The guy writing the note says, "I assume this was some type of flying machine."
No, because in Ezekiel, right? They talk about them angels, them 4 angels that carry the Most High throne.
Yeah,
and it say that it's wheels within wheels, and people allude to that. Oh, it could be a UFO or whatever. That's the same thing they was thinking back that they think today that it would be.
Gotcha.
When they mentioning chariots and stuff taking them up. Today we would say they're UFOs, is what he's saying.
Okay, I see that.
All right, so it says Enoch sings. Oh wait. So this talks about him talking to the watchers, because the Most High basically had Enoch explain, because the Most High didn't want to talk to the fallen angels, so he had Enoch go and talk to him. So they went and petitioned Enoch to go talk to the Most High and say, look, ask the Most High if he would forgive us and all this. So the Most High, tell Enoch basically they ain't gonna be forgiven. That what was going to happen to their children, the giants and the Nephilim and all them. He was telling them what was going to happen.
Yeah, I remember I just read all that. I just made a video about that one, actually.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing about the storehouses, but it was something in here that I want to bring up. And again, this is how we could tell, because the Bible has this in there, right? It describes the Most High. It was white, pure like wool, his garments indescribable. So it's the same thing that the Bible is saying, right? Daniel 7, I believe, Daniel 7 gives us that same description of him. Let's see. But I was trying to find something in here. I think it's on page 85. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I gotta go in here and grab this. I wrote it down earlier.
Yeah, no problem. So what exactly are we talking about right now? Just trying to get us on subject here. So this is, what are you trying to show us, Melvin? The similarities between the Book of Enoch and the Bible, or is that the point of this? So anyway, the Book of Enoch literally teaches. Oh, okay.
It's on page 87.
So what are you showing us here again?
No, it's I'm just going through all this stuff. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So where is it? 85. No, I'm trying to find this part where it talked about the flood. That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh.
It's somewhere in here. Oh, here it is, right here, I think. Let me see. It was a prophecy in here about the flood. This is about the sun and the moon. I find it very interesting that Enoch said the sun and the moon is the same size.
Well, the book of Enoch, if I remember watching when I was reading it, I think I remember the flood part. It basically tells a story about the fallen angels coming down and breeding with women and creating Nephilim and giants. And this is kind of the same thing that the Bible says, right? And that's why God sent the flood to cleanse the earth of the corruption and to punish the fallen angels and their giant offspring. That's basically what the book of Enoch says about the flood, right? Because like they interbred with the human women and they taught them like forbidden knowledges, right? Like metalworking and warfare and how to whore themselves up with makeup and all kinds of stuff like that. Not only that, but he taught astrology, occultic, witchcraft, which we would consider today. The fallen angels taught them how to do astrology and all this weird stuff, clairvoyancy, crystals and everything like that. And of course, God didn't like that. And he wanted to, in the Bible, it says the earth was always evil all the time. Everyone upon it was just.
Here it is right here. It was
All
on
right.
page.
What's it say?
All right, so I'm gonna just go up to 52. 54:1 said, and I look and turn to another part of the earth, and I saw there. So first off, man, let me go up here real quick because this is. I'm gonna read from this, but then we're gonna go up because you'll understand why he's saying he saw this valley with burning fire and all this stuff. I turned to another part of the earth, and I saw there a deep valley burning with fire, and they brought the kings and powerful and threw them in that valley. And there my eyes saw how they made instruments for them, iron chains of immeasurable weight. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, saying, these chains of instruments, for whom are they prepared? And he said to me, these are being prepared for the host of Azazel, so that they may take them and throw them into the lower part of hell, and they will cover their jaws with rough stones, said the Lord of spirits. And Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Phanuel, these will take hold of them on that great day. Remember, it talks about Revelation 12 about that battle in heaven.
Yeah.
This is the battle that's talking about. And throw them on that day into the furnace of burning fire, so that the Lord of spirits may take vengeance on them for their iniquity, and that they became servants of Satan and led astray those who dwell upon the dry ground. So this is talking about a little bit more about that flood. This is getting into the flood part. And in those days, the punishment of the Lord of spirits will go out, and all the storehouses of the waters which are above the sky and under the earth were open. So that's what happened in the flood. It says that, the Most High opened up the gates of heaven, and all this water came from heaven and filled the earth, and all the fountains of the deep were broken up. And that's how the flood happened. And all the waters will be joined with the waters that are above the sky.
Okay, wait, what did you say about the fountains of the deep breaking up? How did that happen?
Remember in the flood?
Yeah, I remember in the Bible, God caused the fountains of the deep to break open. So what did you say it caused?
I'm telling you, this is what this is talking about, right? Because it say
what did it say about the fountain? Okay, the storehouses of the watchers were above the sky, and under the earth they will be open, and all the waters will be joined with the waters that are above the sky. The water is above the sky is male, and the water that is under the earth is female. And all those who dwell upon the dry ground and all those who dwell upon the ends of heaven will be wiped out. It's kind of an odd way to put the water. I never heard that before.
Well, that's what it says in the Bible.
It says that in the Bible, that the water's male and female?
No.
That's what I'm saying. That's the weird part.
Okay, so look, here we go. I don't got it up on the screen, but this is what it's talking about right here. So it says here, and they went into in unto Noah into the ark, two of every kind, right? And it says right here, and the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark. Waters prevailed over and covered the whole earth. It says it covered the whole earth, right? So that's what Enoch is talking.
He dropped himself out again. Yeah, there's a little differences in the book of Enoch and the Bible I've noticed.
Yeah.
But those are the things I don't like. Like there are some things I notice that are slightly different. But the book of Enoch is definitely mystical and mysterious, and there's
big time.
And that's what I want to talk about more, because like this is just getting a little dragging on a bit here. And then Melvin comes back, maybe we can go into some of the mysterious things about these lost books of the Bible.
Oh, dude, it talks about like what sirens actually are and stuff like that in a few of the books.
There's a lot of lost books of the Bible. There's like the Acts of Paul, the Book of Baruch, Judith, Epistles of Barnabas, but I don't think most of these are legit, like at all.
Some of those are Gnostic Gospels. You gotta be really careful, right?
Yeah,
I deal mainly with just the Apocrypha and the Bible itself.
Like the Acts of Paul is one of the major works, it says, and earliest pseudepigraphal series from the New Testament. Pseudepigrapha is a Greek word for false writings, basically.
Yeah. I don't do that. I dive into the Apocrypha. Like it even talks about that sirens are the original women, like mermaids, shit like that, are the women that mated with the fallen angels and they got turned into sirens.
Okay.
I forget what book that was, Melvin. Do you remember offhand?
I never read that, because like I tell everybody, there's those other two books of Enoch, them ain't the same Enoch that walked with the Most High.
No, I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about like the actual 35 book Apocrypha, like all the apocryphal writings.
Like which book though? Second Esdras, First Esdras, Judith, First Book of Maccabees. Like there's quite a few, right, in the Apocrypha. Do you remember which book it was? So, and while he's doing that, another thing I wanted to talk about is like the interesting part about this is like, why did they remove the Book of Enoch? And they didn't actually remove it until the Reformation happened. It was the Protestants that removed it. So like, when was that? Let's see. I think it was like, when was Martin Luther? In like the 15th or 16th century? Let's see. When was the Reformation?
1700s.
Yeah, 16th century. It was the year 1517. So the Apocrypha, the Book of Enoch wasn't removed from the canon, or I don't know if it was the canon or whatever you call it. It wasn't removed from the mainstream Bible until 1517. So all the way like previous, before the Reformation, and it was the Protestants and Martin Luther that deemed it non-scriptural, because they said there was like contradictions in it from the Bible. And even Martin Luther, I'm not saying I agree with this, but he said, it's definitely interesting and knowledgeable to read, but it shouldn't be part of scripture. And that makes me wonder, like,
yeah, and that's why I want to go into more of what Enoch is talking about, because everything Enoch talked about, he talked about exactly what's in that Bible, from creation all the way to the judgment.
For sure, yeah, I actually have, which will probably help us, because
and then think about this too, Nick. If they want to make some stuff up, right? Like, I know you don't want to bring it up. I know you don't like to talk about it, but if it's 364 days in the year, and Enoch is seeing the revolution of the stars and how the sun move and how the moon move, and it really do move like that. If you actually pay attention, Enoch say that sometimes the moon is in front of the sun, like it'll rise before the sun in the morning, and it'll set behind the sun in certain seasons. So when you wake up in the moon, because I don't know how often people look up, But I started looking up. When I read the book of Enoch, I started looking up. And the sun, the moon do be like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the morning, be out. And you can see it sitting there early in the morning.
This
I'm
is
gonna,
the book.
I'm
Sorry,
gonna let
man.
you real quick. No,
This is the movie or the video that I just made actually on the Book of Enoch. Just made it a couple days ago. Can play a little bit of it and pause it and talk a bit, but it's word for word from the Book of the Watchers. Past when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels, the children of heaven, saw and lusted after them and said to one another, Come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and beget us children. And Semjaza, who was their leader, said to them, I fear you will not indeed agree to this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all answered him and said, Let us all swear an oath and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. Then they all swore together and bound themselves by mutual imprecations. I actually found there's a little audio glitches in that. I actually found the PFD that I used to make that. So we can start at the Watchers, chapter 1. So it says, the words of the blessings of Enoch, wherewith the blessed, the elect, and righteous, who will be living in the days of tribulation, when all the wicked and godless are to be removed. And Enoch, a righteous man whose eyes were opened by God, took up his parable and said, I saw the vision of the Holy One in heavens, which the angels showed me. And from them I heard everything, and from them I understood and I saw, but not for this generation, but for a remote one, which is for to come. That's pretty crazy, right? It's talking about like a future generation, like could be us maybe.
No, it's talking about them in Noah's time.
It's the Book of Enoch that has reference to that and alludes to like Sasquatch and stuff like that too.
Huh?
The first Book of Enoch alludes to the sirens and Sasquatch as well.
Sasquatch?
Which one is that? Because I don't got that in mind.
I never heard of that in the Sasquatch either.
That's why I said people gotta be sorry. That's why I said people gotta be careful because it's 2 Enochs in the Bible, and them FMs, let's say that, they use that like they use the Lesser Keys of Solomon, them books.
Yeah.
They use that other book, Enoch, the other one that deal with that black magic stuff.
This is the part that I used for that video. This is about the fallen angels. It says, and it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels, the children of the heavens, saw and lusted after them. It's basically a more detailed description of what we get in Genesis, because in Genesis, there's only like a few sentences, right, that we get. So what does it say in Genesis? Like, you know, the daughters,
the angels of the sons of God went
into women. They saw the daughters of men were fine and chose among the wives.
They were children. They were great men.
Giants or whatever.
That's it.
Yeah. So this goes into more detail, and it says, the angels, the children of heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come, let us choose wives from among the children of men, and begot us children. This right now is pretty much quoting Genesis, but then it goes into other stuff that Genesis doesn't, like Semjaza doesn't say that in Genesis. So, and Semjaza, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear you will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all answered and said, Let us swear an oath and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations, not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. Then they swore this oath together and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. And they were in all 200 who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called it Mount Hermon because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. And these are the names of their leaders. And it even goes into like detail about the leaders' names of the fallen angels, which are like super hard to pronounce, some of them. So their names were Semlazas, their leader Araklaba, Ramil, Kokabel,
Arakiba.
Tamel. Huh?
That's
What the?
Arakiba.
No, this says Araklaba.
Arakiba. That's how you pronounce it.
Araklba.
Yeah, Arakiba.
Arakiba. Araklba. That doesn't say Araklaba. Araklaba. You say that says Arakiba? Okay, I'm not going to argue semantics with you. Arakiba, Ramil, Kokabilo, like these are just crazy. But it goes through all the names of them. And it says these are their chiefs of tens. And all the others together
Got
with
that.
them.
You don't got that option where if you highlight a word on your computer, you could play the audio to pronounce the word. That's how I know it's Arakiba.
Don't know, but definitely
Yeah,
not. I don't want to argue about it, but like I can Google it and get it to say it.
Yeah.
Paste. Araki or whatever you want to call it. Pronounce. I don't know why I'm even wasting time on this. Pronounce or whatever.
Oh,
that's not. Yeah, this is telling you something different. How to pronounce Arakiwa, but that's not the word. Look. Show you. How to pronounce Araklaba. And then under here it says these are the results for how to pronounce Arakiwa. This isn't the same word. Araklaba and Arakiwa, they're two completely different words. So I don't know. Don't know. Here's another thing. How to pronounce Arakiwa, but they're not the same words. Arakiwa is like an actual actual word from this earth in some other language that's telling you how to pronounce it in English. It's not the actual name of the fallen angel, but again, Melvin, I don't care. Let's just call him Arakiwa for now. So these are the chiefs of 10. And all together with them, they took unto themselves wives, and each chose for himself one, and they began to go into them, basically bang them, and defile themselves with them. And they taught them charms and enchantments, the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants. And they became pregnant and bore great giants, whose height was 3,000 ells, who consumed all of the acquisitions of men. 3,000 ells. So this even tells you how big they were. Let's see how big that is in feet. According to the book of Enoch, what? That's so crazy. 3,000 ells in feet? Bro, the book of Enoch tries to say these things are 11,250 feet tall. So I don't. This is where I have a problem with the book of Enoch. Like, how do these women give birth to children that turn out to be, I guess, like, that's insane, dude. 11,250 foot tall. Like, that's a big giant. That's where there's a contradiction in the Bible, because like in the Bible, the giants were not 11,000 feet tall. You know what I mean? There's King Og or Og or however you want to pronounce it. It tells you the measurements of his bed, which were like 13 feet long. You have, you know, that most famous one with. Anyway, the giants in the Bible were like 12 feet tall, bro. They weren't 12,000 feet tall. So that's one of the things I have like a problem with Enoch. But anyway, that's what it says.
Yeah, but you talk about after the flood giants. You're not talking about before the flood giants.
Before the flood giants, they were way taller than 12 feet, dude.
How do you know that, dude? Where does it say that in any canonical scripture or Bible or anything besides the book of Enoch?
They took it out.
Like, where do you get that there was 12,000 foot tall giants walking the earth before the flood? Like, that's all I want to know. Like it's not. It's fun to talk about, and it's not that I don't.
They took it out.
Yeah, but I mean they took it out. That's not a really good answer. Like
It is a good answer. They removed it. We're reading it right now.
Okay, so let's say they were 11 point
All right, look.
2,000 foot
Put
tall.
it on a timeline. Let's put it on a timeline. Enoch was the fifth son from Adam.
Okay.
All right. He was before the flood, right?
Okay.
The fallen angels came down in Genesis 6 because Enoch was talked about in Genesis 5.
Okay.
Well, Enoch was like Genesis 2. Genesis 5. Genesis 5. So after that, then the giants come, right? The Most High wiped that group out. And then after Noah gets off the ark, they said there were still giants in the earth in those days. So the ones that got wiped, okay, if the Most High wanted to wipe out the giants, right, and he did it by a flood, why would he flood the whole earth to where the water almost reached up to heaven?
Because you have to cover all the mountains like Mount Everest and everything.
No, because you had to cover giants. You had to kill all the giants.
Okay.
Think about it. Okay. In the old, look, it would make sense if you understood, like, it's possible because allegedly the firmament, according to a old encyclopedia, the measurements would be like 385,000 feet above us. 385,000 feet above us. So it make perfect sense that if the Most High wanted to flood the earth out and he placed a firmament on the earth,
yeah,
the waters would have stayed inside the earth to flood the whole earth, to reach up to the tops of heaven. And it won't happen like that on the ball. I'm sorry.
But it says that there were giants on the earth in those days and also afterward.
Yeah, because when they flooded it out, right? There was some remnant. They speculated it was some remnant of the giants left after the flood. I don't know how.
11,000 foot tall giants, according to Genesis.
Well, those giants got wiped out.
But it says they were there afterwards too.
There was 3 different falls, guys. So of course it was giants after that. There was Lucifer's fall, there was the flood, and then there was the Tower of Babel.
Okay.
So there was 3 different angelic falls.
Yep.
Well, the book of Esdras, I ain't gonna lie, the book of Esdras did say something about becoming smaller stature or something like that. Like, you know, the giants wasn't like he made sure that he knocked them down a bit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hope so, because 12,000 feet tall is a little unfair advantage.
I mean, think about it. I mean, back in the biblical time, think like this. What if the dinosaurs were actually, because it said they sinned against birds and beasts and reptiles, right? Well, if they made it with men and women and they bore giants, it would be safe to say that to cover up a big biblical fact of there being giants on the earth and to disprove Enoch, they would say they're dinosaurs, evolution and blah, blah, blah. But in actuality, these angels came down and they not only made it with men and women, they made it with the birds and reptiles and everything else. So if they made it with the humans and they created giants, who's to say that them animals they did that to didn't create giants as well?
Who's to say? I mean, maybe.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if people actually believe there was dinosaurs, I mean, could it be that, because look, when you go back into Enoch, go back to that part where you read. But
you don't think there was dinosaurs?
No, Nick.
What?
No. Because dinosaurs tie into evolution. Do you believe evolution?
No, of course not.
Dinosaurs tie into evolution. What does evolution tie into? It ties
into because that there were dinosaurs doesn't mean I have to believe that they evolved into like birds and stuff. You know what I
But
mean?
that's what they teach. That's what the whole thing is surrounded. Okay, so like
I know what evolution teaches.
remember how Christ said of that parable about building your house on a foundation? If you build your house on a foundation of lies, everything else is going to be a lie as well, right?
Yeah, but
if you build your foundation on truth, everything you're going to do is going to be in truth.
that's like saying because there's monkeys, we have to believe in evolution.
No, that's
Yeah,
not.
yeah. I'd have
No.
to agree with Nick on this one, Melvin, because
Because
doesn't the
evolution
Bible
teaches we
reference
evolved from
dragons?
primates. And I just think like the Latin word for dinosaur is like terrible lizard or something.
No,
I
what I'm
think they were
not saying,
dinosaurs.
I don't believe in evolution, Nick. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe that.
I didn't say
know
you
why?
do.
Huh?
I didn't say you believe in evolution. I'm saying what you said would be the same thing as saying because we believe monkeys exist today that I would have to believe in evolution. Because you said if I believe in dinosaurs, that would mean I have to believe in evolution. So I was saying, well, then
Well,
you could say the
didn't
same
they
about
say
monkeys.
that? Hold on, wait. Didn't they say that humans evolved from monkeys?
Yeah, that's my point.
So, okay, so if that's the case, and it's tied to whatever else they said, right? Wouldn't all the rest of it be a lie too?
Bro, I don't believe in evolution. Do you not understand the point I'm trying to make?
Nick, you not understand what I'm saying.
Melvin,
What I'm saying is this: if they say,
Melvin, can I interject? For a
Yeah, go
sec,
ahead.
the Bible talks about dragons, right?
yeah,
In the Old Testament. I think that's what dinosaurs were. The dragons that were referenced and they got wiped out at the flood.
I just think
Because
they
they
were
were a
thousands of years old.
bastardization by the Nephilim.
I think they were thousands of years old, not millions, because I don't believe in that, of course. And like, there's a huge dinosaur museum here. One of the paleontologists or whatever a few years ago actually found soft tissue DNA inside of dinosaur bones. And
Are you talking about Drumheller?
Yeah, Drumheller is
Yeah.
a massive dinosaur museum. They have tons of dinosaur bones, and they found soft tissue DNA inside of them. And soft tissue DNA only lasts thousands of years. It's impossible for soft tissue DNA to last millions of years. And ever since she found them, all the other paleontologists knew how to look for it. They've literally found like soft tissue DNA inside of pretty much every dinosaur bone find that we have. So,
but yet they told us dinosaurs lived millions of years ago.
I know, I don't believe that.
Okay, I know you don't, Nick, but this is what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying real quick.
All right.
If all that is a lie and it's tied into other stuff they've been telling us, then that stuff would be a lie as well too, right?
Yeah, but we also have monkeys walking around on the planet right now.
Look, Nick. All right, let me just make it. Let me just make
So,
it plain. Okay, so they say that the Big Bang happened, rocks smashed together, the Earth heated the sun, the sun was heated by the Earth, formed all this primordial stuff.
not exactly how
Out of
they say
that
it
came
happened.
dinosaurs, and out of the dinosaurs came all this other stuff. You see what I'm getting at? So
You
if
think I believe that?
the dinosaurs are a lie,
Mhm.
if evolution is a lie, and it ties into something bigger than that, wouldn't
see-
that as well be a lie?
Yeah, but do you see my point? That you'd have to be saying monkeys are a lie and they don't exist.
And
Because
humanity
apparently
is a lie.
we evolved from monkeys, apparently.
We
Right?
didn't.
So
The Most
humanity
High
is a lie.
created us in His image.
I know that. I don't believe we evolved from monkeys, but
I knew that.
there are monkeys on the planet, right?
I missed you, Melvin. I really
Look,
missed you, bro.
look, Nick. I'm not saying you believe anything. This is what I want you to understand.
All right.
If they are telling us these lies,
Mhm.
who's to
Yes,
say
they are.
what else they lying about? Who they could lie if they got us there, they could get
Well,
us
they're
anywhere.
lost.
You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They teaching little kids this, bro.
And that
We've been
Melvin,
learning this since we was little kids, bro. That's how
Melvin.
that's you know what I'm saying? So
that's
if
why they're
that's
saying that. That's why they're lying and saying dinosaurs are millions and millions of years old because that's the only way it fits evolution. Is what I'm saying.
yeah, and evolution ties into what?
I don't know.
The big boom.
Well, there's pretty
Bang.
good evidence for the Big Bang. It could have been created by God.
No, the Most High was clear. He created the earth out of water, bro.
Out of water.
Water
Yeah.
and dust, right?
In the beginning, God created
No.
the heavens and the earth was without form and void,
No.
and darkness was on the upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters and said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light that it was good. And he divided the light from the light from the darkness and the day from night. And then he makes the firmament. And then he said, out of the water came the earth.
Melvin, I got a serious question for you.
Bang. You see where the lie lies?
Just because he doesn't say the Big Bang, bro, he doesn't say the word Bible in the Bible either. Like he says he created the whole universe. Right?
Look, Moses spoke. Testing.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on, Adam.
Okay.
My bad. I just want to get a point across.
I know. I'm trying to interject here, and I'm like, hello, does anybody hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
Do you know much about gap? What do you know much about gap theory, Melvin?
I don't know.
The gap in between Genesis 1:1 and 1:2, being like covering like Lucifer's flood in the original translation and the pre-Adamic race.
Yeah, I don't know. Where does that even come from?
I don't know about that. I haven't.
That comes from the original translation of Genesis. That there's a little bit of a gap between Genesis 1:1 and 1:2.
Yeah, but it's basically then it's just people like making things up, right? Like what? Like they're just guessing, pretty much.
Melvin. I'm gonna actually save up and get you the Bible that I use. I think you would find it really informative, and I'll send you the KJV version if you're open to that.
It don't matter to me.
Okay.
I'm all about studying and comparing stuff, but
you would find it really informative because the guy's got like literally commentary upon commentary of books, and even breaks in the original translation and ties into the Apocrypha.
Here's why I don't believe gap theory, because this is what it says about gap theory. It says gap theory is a form of creationism that proposes a long time gap between, like Adam was saying, between the creation events described in Genesis 1:1 and Genesis 1:2, suggesting God created the world in a perfect state, which was then ruined by the fall of Satan. According to the theory, the 6 days of creation were God restoring the earth, not creating it for the first time. Like, where does that come from? Like, proponents use the gap.
It comes from the translation of a few of the words translated from Hebrew to Greek to English.
No, it says the proponents are using this gap to accommodate the scientific findings of ancient Earth. But the theory is not widely accepted by biblical scholars due to the grammatical and theological concerns. They're basically proposing this gap theory to try and explain science and evolution and all these findings and stuff. Like I never ever really believed gap theory.
Avoid those things of science so falsely called, or
I don't believe it.
That's why I steer away from. That's why I steer away from science.
Yeah,
that's why I steer away from. Because look, the Most High created everything. He created
science. You know, like all the first scientists were like God-fearing Christians, right? It's
but who's this? Okay, I mean, hey, more power to him. But you know, the Most High, he's the one who created everything.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything wrong per se with science and like learning about things.
Look, I think there's something wrong with science when they trying to openly and purposely deceive people to lead people away from the Most High.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
And then when they try and discredit the Bible, because I mean, it's clear in the beginning, you know, God created the heaven and earth, right? But they tell us something different. They give us a different story.
Well,
you know,
they don't actually know where it started, though. Look, like, atheists think it all just came from nothing, but like they don't know like what started the creation. Scientists admit they don't know.
Yeah, but the Bible tells us who started the creation.
Yeah, I know. As Christians, we have the Bible and we believe in Christianity, but these atheistic or agnostic scientists.
See, Nick, I know that you don't want to hear this right now. I know it's like kind of beating a dead horse, but dude, it's important, bro. Because if they are lying about what we live on, bro, if they lying about that, bro, and they getting everybody deceived, and they could tell us anything, bro. They could tell us anything. They could tell us, oh, look, there go the Messiah right there. And it could be just a regular dude. And people will blindly follow that. So that's why I say I keep it to what the Bible say. Because I see the Most High as everything. He's the best mathematician.
Does
He's
the Bible
best,
say the earth is flat?
he's
Because I don't think it
the
does.
best biologist. They say it don't move.
Yeah, well, they say it doesn't move, bro. Have you ever felt an earthquake before below your feet?
Look,
Like, what do you
you
mean?
know what I mean, Nick. You know what I mean.
Well,
you know what I mean when I say it don't move.
The rotation of the earth? Well, you're saying the earth doesn't move. It clearly does
The
move.
earth is held in place. The Most High sends those earthquakes as judgments, Nick.
Well, that would still be the earth moving, right? Wouldn't it? Technically?
Let me bring this up real quick because like I said, everything I say is in the Bible, bro. I'm not.
I know that, bro, but you gotta kind of use judgment and stuff at some time. You can't just. The Bible is a book about God and coming to Christ
and everything,
and getting salvation, right?
But God also has stuff in there about Israel. He got stuff in there about
like prophecies and stuff. But you got to remember, the Bible's not a scientific book, right? It's never meant to be. It's a book about Jesus.
Yeah, it's not a scientific book. It's about how God. Look, man, that book is about the Most High. It's about everything He did and everything that He plans to do, including creating the earth, bro. He did that too.
I know that, Melvin, but I'm just saying.
What I'm saying is the Bible says that the earth is not going to, it shall not be moved. It's not going to move. Yet they tell us that it's going around the sun, bro.
Yeah, well, I believe it is because,
I don't, because the Bible says. Look, let me show you why I said that. Let me show you why I said that.
I know we can bring up we're kind of going off topic here from the Lost Books, but if you want to go.
No, this is on topic because we're going to get right back.
No, all intertwined, bro.
No, this is all a part of this is why I said we got to dive deeper into other stuff.
I don't know how the flat earth is intertwined with the Lost Books of the Bible.
Look, man, don't even look at it like something that deals with flat earth or any of that, bro. Just look at it as
what you're
looking for what is missing out the Bible, and if it ties in with what the Bible says. That's what I'm trying to do. That's the whole point of me coming up here. We're talking about the book of Enoch because everything in there, that's like taking, all right, I'm going to take this scripture, but I'm not going to take that scripture because I don't believe that. So I'm not going to take that. I'm going to take this over here, though, because I like that. No, we can't pick and choose when it comes to the Bible, bro. We got, if we're going to be about the Bible, we're going to have to be about the Bible.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't remember the Bible ever teaching the earth is flat.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that they're lying to us, bro. They lying to us. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's
hold on.
Opinion, I guess. I'm sure they're lying about a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of people that, are like, for example, do you know how?
All right, so look, this is why I'm doing this because in Enoch, it gives you a better understanding, right? This is why I want to go into that.
The first scientist that could actually prove the earth was flat would probably get a Nobel Prize. That would be the biggest story to ever hit humanity. You'd have to say every single.
They wouldn't let it get out. They don't let it get out.
They wouldn't let it go. You'd have to say every single astronomer and astrophysicist and every person with an.
You would have to say they were all Masons, but
every single, even people everyday people like me and you that have those $4,000 telescopes they put on the roof of their house and connect to computers, every single space agency, everybody would have to all be in on this big flat earth deception. It's so hard to believe, bro.
Nick.
Melvin.
If they got us believing, look, think about it. How much of the percentage of the world do you actually think believe that the Most High created us in His image versus those that believe in evolution? How many?
Oh, I know. There's not a lot. Okay,
so they got everybody with the evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So who's to say that they ain't gonna get everybody when it comes to everything else? Their whole plan is to discredit the Bible as much as possible, so nobody don't. Come on, man. Think of it like that. Look at this. This is in Psalms, right? Mm-hmm. Psalms 104:5. He has set the earth on its foundations. It can never be moved.
Mm-hmm.
ESV, he set the earth on its foundations so that it should never be moved.
But like, what does
Never.
that mean to you?
Well, you want to go into the Hebrew? Let's go into the Hebrew.
I'm just saying, like, what does that mean to you? Is that a metaphor? Is that literal? Like, what does that mean to you?
I'm pretty sure
it literally never moves physically. Is that what that means?
Okay, when in the book of Joshua, when Joshua said that the sun and the moon stood still and it did not set for a whole day, was that literally happening, or was that like metaphorically happening?
Can do anything if he wanted to, I guess. Like, I believe it, but
so look, get this: if the sun and the moon stood still and didn't set for a whole day, did the earth stop rotating?
Could. That's what I just said. God could do anything if he wanted to.
Let's go into the Hebrew. Let's just deal with this in the Hebrew. Psalms
Well,
104.
if in the flat Earth theory, that would mean the sun and the moon would stop spinning around their heads. So, like, what's the difference? No.
That's why I wanted to go into this book, this little thing. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Just hold on, because we're gonna get into that. I just wanted to show you something in Enoch, Psalms 104, how this all ties in with the Bible. This is the whole point.
All right.
Enoch ties in with the Bible. So this is the Lord's care over all his works, right? That's what it's called, title. And it ties in with Genesis 1 through 31. Find that very fascinating. So this deals with the creation, Nick.
Okay, I get it.
It says here, bless, O Lord, my soul, the Lord, O Lord, my God, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty. So this is him talking to him. So right here, it says, who laid the foundations of the earth that it should not be removed forever? Let's look at this word removed real quick. It's to totter, to shake, to slip, to be shaken, moved, overthrown, metaphorically speaking here. Dislodged, to let fall, drop.
Yeah, so it means move. I get it.
Okay, so if the earth does not move, period, that tells us that it's not rotating around the sun. But this is why I'm bringing this up, right? This is in Enoch, right? Because there's other stuff in Enoch that alludes to what's in the Bible. So that's why I was going into this. Is going to be in, let me see. It's going to be on page 90 or page 87. Let's go to page 87 real quick. I just want people to see this because, like, it's too much stuff that we don't know. It's too much, like, gray areas that's filled up. And some of these books talks about it, right? Even in the book of Esdras, he's talking about, Genesis chapter 1. I think it's in Ezra's chapter 7 or 8, one of those. He going through the whole creation account. But he ain't going into it like, Enoch was, I walked here and I saw this, and I went over here and I saw this. He gives like reference to Genesis chapter 1, and he talks about it. He basically says, the Most High commanded the earth to, come forth out of the water, and it did because he said so. Right?
Uh-huh.
Here we go. Let me see. I want to get this, what's his name? Because this dude set up here and he put this in here. He even mentioned it. Remember I told you back then?
Like, are you like for me, bro, that quote that you bring up about God set the earth on the foundations of pillars or whatever, so it shouldn't be moved. Like, to me, that represents like God's divine unshaken authority over the world or something like that. Like,
Okay, then how you deal with
like not a literal scientific statement about the planet never moving. You know what I mean?
Right, so how do you explain him sitting on the firmament? Where's the firmament that he's sitting on above the earth? Where's that?
The firmament that God's sitting on above the earth?
Yeah, these Ezekiel's wills. It talks about God sits on the firmament. It says it. You know, so where's the firmament and what is it, and where is it mentioned in science?
The firmament, what is that to you? It's like a kind of a solid dome over top of the earth, and God's sitting up there all the time. Is that what
That's
the
what
Bible
it
says? Because I thought God's throne was in heaven. God sits on his throne up in heaven in in the third heaven or something.
Yeah, where is it? It's above the firmament, right?
I guess technically, I think it's in another dimension. I don't think you can just go up high enough to reach the third heaven.
Why would it be in another dimension?
Because it's in the spirit world. It's in heaven, in the glory of God. It's not in this plane. You actually think it's just like you go up high enough, if you could crack through the firmament that's there, somehow you'd be in heaven around God? Is that what you're saying? Honestly?
What?
Honestly, if you think if you just were able to get up high enough, you could get up to the throne of God and be in heaven.
No, that's never going to happen.
So, well, but if you could, technically, that's where you think heaven is. You don't think it's in like a different plane, like a spiritual plane, like a different place. You think it's literally just like above the earth somewhere?
Do me a favor, Nick. Look up the definition.
I'm asking you if that's what you think. Like,
no, I could tell you what I think all I want, but the reason why I say this, look up just do this little sidebar. Just look up firmament for a definition point of view, and look at what it says there.
Firmament. The heavens or the sky, especially when regarded as a tangible thing.
Now, why are they saying that?
I don't know.
Because the firmament is a tangible thing, Nick.
In ancient Near Eastern cosmology, the firmament means a celestial barrier that separates the heavenly waters above from the earth below.
Biblical.
Okay, but heaven means basically like there's different things. The word heaven, like in the Bible, sometimes just means like the sky. Like birds fly through the heavens, you know? You know that, right? There's different layers of heaven that they talk about.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the heaven that the Most High dwells in.
So the third heaven, isn't that what they call it in the Bible?
I don't know what they call it. I don't know what other people say. All I could just say is what the Bible say.
Yeah,
the Most
High, hey, bro, I'll be right back.
Look, the Most High sits on the firmament according to Ezekiel. Now, if we're going to believe what the Bible say, we're going to have to believe what the Bible say, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm not questioning what the Bible says. I'm just saying, in the Bible, Ezekiel said when he saw the Most High and them four cherubim or them wheels within wheels that's carrying the Most High throne, it says right there that the Most High is sitting on the firmament.
Okay.
Period. That's what the Bible say. If the Bible's all scripture is inspired by God. If we believe that, then we got to let all scripture be true.
Yeah, it says it's inspired by God, right? But God didn't write the Bible himself.
Yeah, he told people to write it.
People would have dreams and visions and say they were inspired by God, and they would write it down.
Then what are we supposed to believe in if we can't believe that the Bible was inspired by God?
Yeah, I just said it was inspired by God, but these are people's like interpretations. They were inspired by God. They had a dream or a vision that was inspired to them by God. I'm just saying it's not God like writing it himself, right?
Of course not. But we ain't gonna say that he don't have the ability to, because he wrote them laws on that stone with his own finger.
He also wrote the laws on everyone's hearts and minds, but he didn't physically take out a pen and chisel it into our hearts and brain, right? It's a metaphorical thing in that sense.
Well, according to Moses, he did it with lightning on those stones.
With lightning on our hearts and brains.
On those stones.
Oh, on the stones. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that, bro.
Oh, here it is right here, Nick. Check this out. At 75, 8-9, Enoch explains how the axis of rotation, don't sit up there and say, oh, see, that proves, wait until I finish. passes through the middle of the earth.
Okay.
Although I think Enoch was not sure what Uriel meant by this, it should be remembered that the fact that the earth is spherical and rotating was only widely accepted a few hundred years ago.
That's not true.
Before then, it was believed that the
That's not
sun
true.
went around the moon,
That's not
around
true.
the earth.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
This is some dude's notes about the Book of Enoch. This is not anyone could go write that on the internet, bro. Like the Greeks knew that the earth was round thousands of years ago. It didn't just become widely believed a couple hundred years ago that the earth was round.
It says it was widely accepted.
That's not true though, bro. That's some guy. That's not even the Book of Enoch. That's some guy's notes that
But
you're
it
reading
says
on
right-
the book.
Look, Nick, it says right here. Before then, it was believed that the sun went around the earth.
That's what he says, dude. The guy who wrote the notes on this.
That's what she said.
But no,
That's-
seriously, this is just some random dude on the internet that's writing
No,
notes
that's
on the
what
Book of
that's
Enoch.
what they actually believe, Nick. If you go into the Blue Letter Bible and you type up firmament,
Bro, that's not what they believed. Like I told you, they knew the earth was round thousands of years ago.
Nick, this ain't even a flat Earth thing. This is let's get to the truth kind of thing.
Okay.
So. So, Nick, let me ask you, did the Hebrews ever believe? I'm not talking about us today. I'm talking about them all the way back then, not in our day. Did the Hebrews back then believe that there was a heavenly ocean where God dwelt above the earth?
Listen, bro.
I'm just
Look
asking.
for another interpretation on this except for yours. When I ask something like, what does it mean when Ezekiel said God sits on the firmament? This is just another interpretation.
Okay.
He meant that God's throne is situated in the heavens above the visible sky and the angelic beings, cherubim, in the vision. The imagery signifies God's supreme sovereignty, transcendence, and separation from the earthly realm, rather than suggesting a literal physical structure he sits on.
Right? Yeah. He sits on. So how are they going to say that? How are they going to say that?
What do you mean?
Why is everything always poetic when it comes to like certain things, but it's not poetic or metaphorically, or it means something else? When
Because
Ezekiel,
the firmament is interpreted as the vast expanse or sky, and the vision emphasizes God's divine glory, which is majestically displayed in this heavenly space. It doesn't mean that there's
Ezekiel
sitting on top of.
So instead of Ezekiel saying all that, instead of saying, "I saw God sitting on the firmament."
Yeah.
So that is interpreted to, "Oh, I saw God's divine power."
No, it's just
that's what they're saying, and you believe in it.
No, bro.
Ezekiel said he's seen the Most High sitting on the firmament.
Period. It just means that everything in the Bible is not literal.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. The Bible's literally full of metaphors, all kinds of stuff. Not every single thing in the Bible is literal. It's full of parables, metaphors.
You know what them scholars say? They say that Genesis 1 is poetic. It's not literal. God didn't
Not all of them say that.
Yeah, but there are some. There are some.
Yeah, there's some. They don't say. There's some that I've heard more that people say that a day, because it's true, one day in God's time could be 1,000 years. So I've heard more that it's not 6 actual earthly days as we know now. It was created in what God called 6 days.
The Hebrews say.
Pardon me?
Yom.
Huh?
The Hebrew word yom.
Yom? What does that mean?
Yom. It means a day, a 24-hour period.
No, that doesn't mean anything. Back in that time, days weren't 24 hours, dude. They were from sun up to sundown.
Nick.
What?
In the book of Enoch, it says a whole day is 24 hours too.
Well, these are problems I have with the book of Enoch, because back in like the biblical times, this is a well-known thing. A day was from sun up till sundown.
So basically 12 hours.
Yeah, times were different back then. It wasn't a 24-hour day like we have now.
You want
Everybody knows that.
Look, I went through this with.
What?
Hold on,
No, you're still there.
because
I believe you said everything in the Bible is literal. You can't actually mean that.
So you don't actually believe God is powerful enough to create the world and everything in one day?
No, I believe he's more
powerful
powerful than you
else,
do.
huh?
I believe he's more powerful than you do. I believe he created
I
the
believe
entire massive universe.
I believe that God is the ultimate creator. He's the ultimate biologist. He's the ultimate everything. He's the one who created all this. He created you, me, the plants, the trees, the birds, the bees,
reducing
all
his
of it.
power down to an earth covered in like a bubble that sits on a square thing. And I think he created the entire known universe.
I'm just going based off what I read about what they believed back then.
With what? Bringing up verses like God makes the earth on a unmovable foundation.
The whole point was to get on here and talk about other stuff that people might.
You're the one that started going on the flat Earth thing, bro. I wanted to
talk going on. I told you I wasn't going there. I said don't even think of it like that. Think of it like we trying to find truth to other stuff, because there's other stuff in the Bible other than just God and Christ and all that. It talks about other stuff, bro.
You're trying to tell me that I'm the one that started talking about flat Earth?
I didn't say that. What I said was, my intention on bringing this stuff up was there is other stuff in the Bible that pertains to truth that ties in with the book of Enoch. I don't want to keep getting on here talking about the fallen angels every time we talk about Enoch when there's all this other stuff up in here.
Okay, we'll talk about some other stuff then that doesn't have to do
with we can't talk about the earth. That's in book of Enoch. What's the problem with it? What's the problem with talking about the earth in the Bible?
You just said you weren't the one that was wanting to talk about flat earth. Like, I don't like talking about flat earth.
I didn't say nothing about flat earth. I said, what's the problem with talking about the earth?
Nothing, but you take everything as the earth being flat.
Look. I didn't say that.
Gentlemen,
I didn't mention. Did I mention anything about a flat earth?
Yeah,
no, gentlemen.
No, I didn't.
Gentlemen.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so the earth's not flat then? Cool. Let's move on. It's round. Nice.
No.
Gentlemen, Corey would like to say
Don't put words in
something.
my mouth.
Hello. Corey would like to say something.
This is what I'm saying. Look.
Wait, Corey wants to say something.
Instead of arguing with me, go and look at what the Hebrew words say. I didn't put this in here. Okay? I didn't put this in here. These are the translators.
Okay, Corey would like to say something.
According to people that actually study Hebrew, I was looking for Genesis.
That's a good point, dude. Jesus himself said in John 11:9 that there's 12 hours in a day, not 24.
So, my point of view is, I heard, yes, Melvin did say the flat earth, but what he said is true. He said that it could be taken as flat earth, but this is what I'm saying. Like, he didn't agree with it as flat earth. He didn't agree with it as being a round earth. He just said this is what it says. That's what I heard.
Yeah, he's saying this is what it says because he's a full-out flat earth believer. That's what he's saying. Like, he's not going to say, oh, this is what it says. It could be round, could be flat. Like, ask Melvin, does this mean flat earth? He's going to say, yeah, he's talking about a flat earth.
Yeah, because if you ask me a question, I'm not going to lie to you.
Exactly. So you think he's talking about a flat earth? Exactly.
No, I wasn't. What I was talking.
This isn't saying the earth is flat to you. Then
Nick,
it could.
What did I say, Nick? I said I got on here to talk about other stuff that's in the book of Enoch that nobody else wants to talk about. That's what I want to do. Now, if I wanted to talk flat earth, I'll be talking flat earth. But I'm talking about the book of Enoch.
Okay, let's talk about the book of Enoch then.
Okay. Can I say something, gentlemen?
Talk about fallen angels all day, or you want to go into other parts of stuff in the book of Enoch? I wasn't just talking about the earth. I was talking about how he prophesied about Abraham. I was talking about parts of the flood. So stop saying I'm talking about.
Well, not for the last 40 minutes we weren't.
No, gentlemen. Can I interject
just to prove my point? Just to prove my point, can you share my screen real quick?
Can I say something quickly, Melvin?
Yeah, go ahead.
I truly missed you guys butting heads like brothers. You guys butt heads like siblings. It is quite endearing to see.
I actually don't know why my screen isn't sharing anymore.
Weird.
For some,
And you're on the laptop, right, Melvin? Not
yeah,
your
I'm on
cell
my
phone?
computer.
Okay.
But anyway, the word for day in Hebrew, this is the Hebrew, is yom.
Okay.
And it says here from the translators, a day, a year, time, a day as opposed to night.
Yeah.
Day, a 24-hour period,
That
as
doesn't-
defined by evening and morning in Genesis,
Yeah.
a division of time, a
Okay.
day, a working day, a day's journey, so on and so forth. This is what the translators put there.
That's what the translators put there. Jesus Christ himself, out of his mouth, said a day is 12 hours. So what are we
Bring
arguing?
the verse up where he said a day is 12 hours.
Okay, I'll bring it up. This is Jesus talking. Jesus answered, "Are there not 12 hours in a day?" Question mark. If anyone walks in the day, does he not stumble? 12 hours, right there. So just because the Hebrew word can mean day or can mean 24 hours, that's not exactly what it's saying, is the point I'm trying to make. That's just what the word can mean.
The point I'm making is 12 hours in a day.
That's what it was back then. That's
when the sun is up, Nick. That's when the sun is up. So yeah, there is 12 hours in a day, depending on where the sun is setting and moving, because it's not always 12 hours in a day, Nick. What about when the winter time comes and then it gets dark earlier?
Because I was trying to tell you, bro, back then a day to them was from sun up to sundown. That was a day.
And it wasn't always 12 hours.
I know, it was from sun up to sundown.
Yeah, but it wasn't a full 12 hours.
Maybe not. But it was, they didn't take it on like, the only point is, what I was making is, their days weren't based on 24-hour periods like ours are now. They were based on sun up to sundown.
Yeah, well, but my whole point.
What about where it's sunny like for months?
My whole point of bringing this up is, because I was like, look, man, it ain't 365 days in a year. That ain't had nothing to do with Earth. That deals with time.
Yeah, that's the Gregorian or solar calendar. Apparently,
that's according to what Enoch said. That's according to what Enoch wrote.
No, I'm talking about our 365 days are based on the solar.
Well, they added those days because they was doing a whole bunch of stuff, changing a whole bunch of stuff. So to be honest, we don't really. Only thing we know is what they tell us. So if they tell us a lie, that's all we know. That's all. That's it. And they constantly lying to us. So that's all they ever gonna tell us. Is what I'm getting to. The whole point is to bring out truth, regardless if people believe in it or not. I don't care about all that. My whole point is I just want to talk about what's true. I don't want to sit here and believe a bunch of lies all my damn life and then believe it until I die. And then I die and see the Most High. Be like, oh, you believed all these lies. And I say, hey, what lie did I believe? And then he go down the list and tell me. And then I'm sitting there like, oh, man, I wish I would have just understood this long ago.
Yeah, but honestly, like most of the stuff we've been arguing about, do you even think that's like a salvational issue?
Bro, everything in the Bible to me is important. I don't care.
Or don't you just think it matters, like if you put your heart?
Don't you think truth matters? Jesus? Don't you think the Most High wants us to know the truth?
Yeah, but what is truth? Jesus is truth. I am the truth, the way, and the life.
The Bible was written and inspired by God, right? And God is true, right?
Yeah, but Jesus is the truth. Jesus is the way. I don't think arguing about the shape of the earth or how many hours in a day.
I'm saying, okay, look, let's just say we're exposing lies. Let's do that.
All right, fair enough. We're exposing lies.
Because I didn't say nothing about flat earth, bro. I didn't mention nothing like that. I just said I want to get into some of this stuff about where Enoch went and, about how the earth actually works.
Melvin's actually telling the truth. He said the earth. He didn't say flat earth.
I didn't say nothing about flat earth, bro. Every time when I talk about the earth, it got to be flat earth. Even because, like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know why people make this analogy. When you know the Most High created everything, including the earth, why is it a problem to talk about that from biblical standards? The Bible has it in there, so let's talk about it.
I know, but you believe the earth is flat, do you not?
Bro, I let people believe whatever they want to believe, bro. All I'm doing is saying the Bible talks about the earth, bro. That's what it does.
That's what I'm asking you.
I didn't say the Bible talks about flat earth, did I? No. I said the Bible talks about earth.
When you're bringing up this stuff about the earth not being moved and stuff, you're clearly referencing the earth not rotating.
I never got on here to mention anything about flat earth. I said, I find it fascinating that it's only 364 days in the year. That's a lie because we're told it's 365. For some odd reason, all these lies are being told to us, and we're fighting more to control and protect the lie than to find out what's really true.
But you didn't say anything about the earth not rotating or that we don't go around the sun. Nothing like that, right?
That's what the Bible says. Can I talk about it in the Bible? Is that okay?
Sure.
Or do we just keep that locked up like they doing to us?
What I'm telling you is the Bible doesn't say that there's no rotation on the earth or that we don't revolve around the sun. You're taking it the wrong way is my point.
I take it like the earth don't move, mean the Most High mean what he say.
But the earth does move. There's earthquakes. There's all kinds of stuff. There's volcano eruptions.
You know what I mean when I say it don't move? That's a filibuster. Stop it.
Filibuster?
Rex.
That's not what the word filibuster means, bro. That would be like shifting the goalpost. And what are you talking about? That's exactly my point. When you see the earth doesn't move, you're talking about it rotating, correct?
Nick, what does the scripture say?
Which one?
The one I just read.
Yeah, but you said that the earth doesn't move.
No, what did I read?
I don't know. Which one did you read? Say it again.
Psalms 104, verse 6.
Yeah, you're talking about the earth not moving, correct?
Yeah, and if it's in the Bible, then it's true, right?
Yeah, but the earth.
I mean, leaving out all our interpretations of what we want, because we know the Bible ain't up to no private interpretation. If the Most High is saying something,
just because you think it means something doesn't mean that's what it means. Is what I'm saying. It's not a literal scientific.
So the Most High just got us reading the mystery.
No, it's not. No,
it gotta be because everything is it's not literal. It's always
what makes you think that it's an actual scientific statement
that we can make up whatever we want out of the Bible. And it really irritates me when people do that because it's like you're trying to hinder the truth from getting out.
But you know the Bible's full of similes, metaphors, parables. You know not everything in the Bible.
So when God created the heavens and the earth, was that a metaphor, a simile, or any of that, or was it literal?
It's not hard to tell. Like some things might be literal, some things might be metaphors, some things might be parables. Like
because if you say him creating the earth is literal and metaphoric, then we're not literal. We're metaphoric. You see where I'm
really worked up here, bro? I think you need to take a breath and just chill out a bit. Like.
No, I'm just saying, dude. I get tired of people doing that. I get that all the time, bro. When I want to talk about certain stuff, bro, it just be.
Well, people have different opinions, Melvin. You got to understand that.
So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get you to think. If the earth is a metaphoric thing, if he describing the earth being formed, how he formed it, and people want to keep saying it's metaphorical.
I never said that was metaphorical.
And say that human beings are metaphorically created.
I didn't say that. I just said some things in the Bible are metaphorical. They're not all.
So I'm asking you a question. Is Genesis 1, the whole chapter, literal, metaphorical, simile, what?
I think it's literal. It's talking about the creation of the earth, and it goes into detail. It's not just like one little psalm about the earth being set on a foundation.
That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing.
All right.
All right. So, literally speaking, Enoch talks about all these places that's on the earth.
Okay. Bring it up. I'm going to get a drink. Let's move on to a different subject than the shape and of the earth.
No one's talking about the shape, man. I'm talking about other stuff, bro.
Okay, or the rotation, or the movement. Let's go to something else in Enoch.
Let's not talk about anything dealing with God's creation, then.
We can't talk about anything else in Enoch. It has to be about.
I can't talk about the earth. God created it, right?
Okay, keep talking about the earth then. I don't mind. What else did you have in mind? Where do you want to go to next?
No, bro, y'all could talk about something, bro. I'm gonna be quiet. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Well, Adam, Corey, do you guys have anything to say about anything? Guess not. Okay, well, I'm going to go back to where I was then, talking about what the Book of Enoch is saying about. I got it here. I just got to jump to it. Kingdom of Heaven visions. That's interesting. Okay, let's talk about the visions of the Kingdom of Heaven. So this is chapter 5 of the Watchers, I believe. Now this talks about Methuselah, which is interesting because he's one of the most interesting characters in the Bible. The person that lived the longest on Earth, apparently, he lived almost 1,000 years, I believe. I believe it was about 1,000 years, if I'm correct, if I'm not mistaken. So this is visions of the heavens, I believe. So my son Methuselah, I will show thee all my visions which I have seen, recounting them before thee. So this is Enoch talking to Methuselah, I guess. 2 visions I saw before I took a wife, and the one was quite unlike the other. The first
I
one.
wouldn't read that, Nick, because it's going into some stuff you don't want to talk about.
Okay, well, I'll keep reading it and see what you're talking about.
Sorry.
The visions I saw before I took a wife, and the one was quite unlike the other. The first when I was learning to write, the second before I took thy mother, I saw a terrible vision. And regarding them, I prayed to the Lord. I had laid me down in the house of my grandfather Mahalalel. I saw in a vision how the heaven collapsed and was borne off and fell to the earth. That's crazy. And when
it fell to the earth, Nick, that's the firmament.
And when it fell to the earth, I saw how the earth was swallowed up in a great abyss, and mountains were suspended on mountains.
That's a black hole.
Okay. So he saw, it's pretty crazy. He saw part of heaven, or this is a vision he's having, I guess. So it didn't actually
Nick, I'm going to break it down for you. He telling you he saw a vision, and then the Most High crashed the firmament to the earth. This is like when new heaven and new earth is about to be built. He's going to destroy the firmament. He's going to destroy the earth, and he's going to build a new firmament and a new earth. That's what this is talking about. So you don't want to talk about that, so let's move on.
Bro, you got a lot of anger inside of you, man. Like, maybe I was reading this.
I'm just being sarcastic, bro. Don't take me serious.
Watching the show, like, maybe there's people that
I'm being sarcastic.
Melvin's just being facetious, dude. He's bugging you. You can tell it in the tone of his voice.
Okay.
If it sounds like it's gonna like a little harsh, but it's gonna crack, he's being sarcastic. I've learned that about Melvin. You got to read the tone of his voice.
Yeah. Okay. So he laid me down in the house of my grandfather Mahalalel, and I saw a vision how the heaven collapsed and was borne off and fell to the earth. And when it fell to the earth, I saw how the earth was swallowed up in a great. So I guess it would broke through the firmament or something, because it doesn't say that, right?
No, look. When you keep reading, the Most High, like it's in what is that? It say in the Bible that the heavens is going to be covered with fire or something. I forget what that. Excuse me, I forget where it is, but it talks about the heavens being burnt up and dissolved. You know, kind of ordeal. This is a prophecy about the last days. This is something that's going to happen in the last days, Nick.
Okay, so he had this crazy vision of heaven, of part of heaven falling down to earth, And he, when it fell to earth, he saw how the earth was swallowed up in a great abyss, and mountains were suspended on mountains, and hills sank down on hills, and high trees were rent from their stems and hurled down and sunk in the abyss. And thereupon a word fell into my mouth, and I lifted up to cry aloud and said, the earth is destroyed. And my grandfather Mahalalel waked me as I lay near him and said unto me, why do you cry so much, my son? And why have you made such lamentation? And I recounted to him the whole vision which I had seen. And he said to me, a terrible thing you have seen, my son. And of grave moment is thy dream vision as to the secrets. If all the sin of the earth, it must sink into the abyss and be destroyed with a great destruction. And now, my son, arise and make petition to the Lord of glory, since you are a believer, that a remnant may remain on the earth, and that he may not destroy the whole earth. My son, from heaven all this will come upon the earth, and upon the earth there will be great destruction. So like heaven meant like up in the sky too. So they're basically saying that there's going to be some crazy stuff come down out of the sky that's going to destroy the earth.
The firmament, Nick.
Okay, the firmament.
You gotta keep it what the text say, man. I don't like changing stuff around.
Well, I haven't read in there yet where it says the firmament's falling to the earth, but
it did. It said the firmament crashed to the earth. You just read it.
Where?
Go back to where you read the first time.
Okay. It says a terrible vision regarding them. I prayed to the Lord. I laid me down in the house of my girl, and I saw a vision how the heaven collapsed and was bore off and fell to the earth. And
okay, so the heaven is the firmament, right? In the book of Genesis, it says that. It says, the firmament is basically called heaven, right?
Sure. Well, there's
Genesis 1:6-7 or 6-8.
There's multiple heavens, though, right? Like the sky was the heaven for some of them. There was a third heaven, the second heaven, like. That's what I'm saying.
Look, there is no 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever. It's only one. Okay. And then you got the firmament with the waters inside the firmament. And then you got the earth.
Okay.
Now, I don't know where the other people get all the levels from. And maybe they read another book or something that, they took out the Bible, but I haven't ran into anything like that. So I can't really speak on it.
Well, Paul himself talks about the third heaven.
And what?
I know he does. Let's see. Where does Paul say the third?
Because I know they got an Apocalypse of Paul where he's talking about the different levels of heaven, but I don't think that's the book that you're talking about.
2 Corinthians 12:2. He writes in the third person about a man in Christ who was caught up to the third heaven.
Yeah, that's the same. That's the same thing they got in that book of the Apocalypse of Paul.
Oh, well, this is from 2 Corinthians, so it's...
Yeah, but they got this from that Apocalypse of Paul.
2 Corinthians got it from the Apocalypse of Paul?
I guess, because Paul's supposed to have a book written or something.
But 2 Corinthians is in the New Testament, right?
Yeah. Paul was in the New Testament.
So who cares if it's in the Apocalypse of Paul? It's in the canonical Bible, the Holy Bible. Like where the Apocalypse of Paul.
The book of Enoch is in the Bible. We talking about it.
Yeah. The man Enoch is in the Bible, I know.
Yeah, Paul was in the Bible, right? Book of Enoch. Enoch had a book that was taken out, and Paul had a book.
But we're not talking about Paul. I'm talking about him mentioning the third heaven.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's never mind. you don't get it.
I don't get it. I'm telling you, the Bible mentions the third heaven, bro.
Yeah, and it's also in the Apocalypse of Paul, Nick. That's what I'm saying. So who cares? Okay.
That doesn't make the third heaven irrelevant.
I didn't even say, oh my goodness, bro.
So what's the point? There's the Apocalypse of Paul was written in the 7th century AD.
Yeah.
700
what
years.
I'm saying is Paul has a book where he's talking about the seven, whatever, however many heavens. That's what I just said that.
Paul mentions the third heaven. So you just told me that there's only one heaven And I'm telling you, no. In the
Yeah,
Bible, it actually mentions a third.
I said that I haven't heard of anything, so I wouldn't be able to speak on that. But I said Apocalypse of Paul does allude to it.
Oh, okay.
But this is what I'm saying. This same excerpt that you read is in that book, the Apocalypse of Paul.
Oh yeah, they obviously ripped it off from the Bible. Yeah, I never read the Apocalypse of Paul.
Well, maybe you need to go read it, see if it ties in with the Bible.
Oh, never mind. This is a 4th century non-canonical apocalypse and part of the New Testament Apocrypha. The full original Greek version of the Apocalypse of Paul is lost, although fragmentary versions still exist.
See, they always say it's lost, and it's always these fragments that exist, and they try and discredit it so people could stay away from the truth, Nick.
So you think they're lying about that, or what?
No, I think what they're doing is they're hiding stuff, Nick, to where you don't fully understand the truth about what actually went on. So they could spread as many lies as they want, Nick. If the truth is already there, they can't lie about nothing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but maybe not everything is a lie, bro.
Look, Nick, if this world is ran by evil men that worship the devil, and we know the devil's a lie, what makes us think that they're not lying to keep, whatever promises he gave to them? Because we know that there are people down here doing stuff for the devil, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so if these people are in high places, because it says that most of the kings and the mighty men, so kings could be presidents, it could be rulers, it could be leaders. Okay, so if they're working for the other side, why do we even listen to anything they got to say?
I don't, bro. I'm just saying there's more than one heaven.
Yeah, so I'm saying what I'm saying is, I'm talking about the book that I brought up. They say that it was non-canonical. They always start with that, and then there's fragments that exist, but then they don't never, say, okay, we found fragments. It was written in such and such, and it could have been in the Bible or whatever, but it's like they always discredit it.
Well, it was written almost 400 years after the Bible, so who knows how accurate it really is, right?
Well, it was translated, because if they found the scrolls, it wasn't written in English back then, Nick.
No.
It had been translated. Maybe they found it somewhere like they did because the book of Enoch was like, what? Found how many years ago? How many years ago they find the book of Enoch?
They found it in 1947, I think.
Okay, so it's not strange that some stuff wouldn't be getting found.
Here's a picture of some of the Apocrypha of Paul, which is what you'd expect like old papyrus to look like after 16 or 1700 years.
Yeah, so why do they sit up there and say, what I don't get is, who is giving these people authority to say what's canonical and what's not canonical? Who's giving them that authority? Because if it ain't the Most High, then somebody else is telling them to do that.
He's got a pretty good point there.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. That has nothing to do with what I was talking about the heavens, but yeah, I agree. There are. No. I don't know who.
I'm just making a point, because if they are hiding stuff, Nick, and they're lying, then we got to find out what the truth is. That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree, bro. 100%. Yeah, I agree for sure. And I don't know who sets things as canonical and who doesn't. I know we were talking about in 1517 the Reformation, where they didn't want the Book of Enoch in the canon, but
but that's where that all starts.
That's just the Book of Enoch, right?
Yeah, we know that the Book of Enoch belongs in the Bible because it was quoted, just like the Book of Jasher was quoted, but it was taken out. Because if they could leave those gray areas, it leaves room for speculation, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure, bro. Like, all I know is the Catholic Church are the ones that actually compiled the entire Bible that everybody has right now. They're the ones that put it together, stored it, and compiled it. So if it wasn't for the Catholic Church, we wouldn't even basically have a Bible. It wouldn't be anything the same as we have now. So I obviously don't trust them very much. So I don't know.
That's why I say I try to keep everything biblical. If it's not in the Bible, bro, I don't believe it. that book is the only truth down here. That's the only truth we got down here. Everything else to me is just hogwash.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a good point that this Arctic made. Like the Bible obviously talks about Enoch, but it doesn't mention anywhere in the Bible that he actually wrote anything, right? So who knows? Who knows? Like I don't even like you like you said yourself, Melvin, you got to question everything. So like who knows where this book of Enoch even came from? Who knows if he was even written by Enoch, the same Enoch from the Bible? Like when would it have to be written? Like how long ago did Enoch apparently live?
Enoch lived 365 years. Says
Yeah, but like when though? Like when was he born kind of thing? Like what century is he from?
well, he's the fifth from Adam. So if we go back to Adam, he'd be like the fifth generation.
Let's see, what century would Enoch be from? The biblical figure Enoch is from pre-flood era, which would be approximately the fourth or third millennium BC.
Yeah, about the fifth generation. Yeah.
Yeah, so the section being from the fourth or third millennium. So that's what I mean. That's why I kind of have a problem with the Book of Enoch, because the books that are attributed to him were written in like the 3rd century BC. So like
Were they written or were they translated?
No, that's where the original ones come from, the 3rd century before Christ. So that's like 2,900 years after Enoch was alive. That's a long time, right? That's a long time span. That's what I'm saying.
But like David says, back then they did it orally before they started writing it down. So that's not strange.
Well, it's almost 3,000 years. That's a lot of room in between. But
they've been passing stuff down from generation to generation before they start writing it down.
It's not strange. It just leaves a lot of room in between, right? It just leaves a lot of guessing. Like, could it?
That's why I say, man, you gotta let the scripture be what the scripture be, man. If it's inspired by God, that's the only truth we got down here. Once we get to speculating, then we start questioning God.
I agree with that, but that's the point of the whole distance thing. Like, was this Book of Enoch that was written in the 3rd century?
My thing is, does it tie in with the Bible? The distance and time and stuff, that don't matter. Does it tie in with the Bible? That's how we determine what's true and what's not.
It does in a lot of places, right? But there's still some places that I have problems with that.
Like what places? The Revolution of the Lights?
No, Melvin. The Earth is round. I don't have a problem with that because I know the Earth is round. But just like the stuff we were talking about with giants being like almost 12,000 feet tall and all that, like that's really kind of strange to me. It doesn't mention anything in like the actual Bible about giants being anything close to that height.
Nick, they've been removing stuff out of the Bible. Why would they leave it in there?
I know, but you could say that just seems like a really good thing to like, you could say that about anything if you wanted to, right?
That's like if they left a piece of history out, right? Like in our time, if they left a piece of history out, or they had a piece of history in there, and then later on down the line, they come with like stuff like critical race theory to erase history. And then everybody, critical race theory is bad, and blah, blah, blah. And that's how they get rid of stuff. They make you beg for it to be getting rid of. And people fall for it every time. They could just tell you, hey, we don't like this history. We want to remove it. Yeah, we don't like it either. Yeah, let's remove it. And then there you go. You lose history. You lose truth. That's how it works, Nick. That's how they play the game.
So like there's some other contradictions that I heard of a while ago too. What was it? Let me see if I can find some of these. Let's see here. So what about chronology? Enoch's life. It says the The book of Enoch states Methuselah was born when Enoch was 165, and Enoch lived 200 more years before being taken by God. The Bible says Enoch fathered Methuselah at age 65 and then lived 300 more years before being taken. So, like, that's kind of a, when I see stuff like that, it's like, well, what are we going to believe, the Bible or this book of Enoch? You know what I mean?
They say the same thing in the Bible, Nick.
No,
Like
it
I
doesn't.
do. Yes, it do. Go
The
to Genesis 5 and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's there. They get the timelines of who was born and when people died. All up in there.
Yeah,
Genesis,
I know that. But Genesis 5, you said?
yeah, Genesis 5.
That's the genealogy, right?
Yep. From Adam.
I know the genealogy's in the Bible, but that's my point. And if you add up the genealogy in the Bible, it says that
Enoch lived 365 years and then he was taken by God in the Bible. And it says it in the book of Enoch too.
The Bible says that the book of Enoch says. Oh, well, I didn't know that. Let's see. Genesis 5. Where in Genesis 5? I'll just bring it up.
I'm going to bring it up on my side too so I can see which verse to go to actually.
Yeah. Adam descendants to Noah. So, Adam 9 fathered Enosh.
It is Genesis 5:30. Oh, no, 23.
22, yeah, 23. When Enoch had lived 65 years, he fathered...
100.
No, it says 65. 21. Check.
Oh, no, wait. All right, so that's who it was. Jared was his father, lived 800 years. His years were 960 before he died. 962 he died. Enoch lived 65 years, walked with God. He was taken at 365 years. Then he begat Methuselah. So it'll tell you right here, and Methuselah lived 87 years and begat Lamech. So at 87 years, but Enoch begot sons and daughters. It says he was 65 years when he begot Methuselah. So he was 65 when he had Methuselah.
Was Enoch was 65, he fathered Methuselah. When Enoch was 65, he fathered Methuselah.
What was that other thing that you read that said that it was 165? Who said that?
Oh, no. The book of Enoch says Methuselah was born when Enoch was 165.
Where does it say that at?
I don't know. Apparently in the book of Enoch somewhere.
I ain't never read that.
Well, let's pull it up.
That's what I mean when I say you got to read the book itself before you listen to what other people say. Because I read that book over and over. It never mentioned the age that he had Methuselah. Never mentioned it. They inserted that there.
Okay.
This is what I mean when I say.
You can't just say that about everything because then there's nothing to argue.
No, because it's proof. I just proved it right there that they're doing it. Nowhere does it mention the age of Enoch when he had Methuselah in the book.
It's in Second Enoch.
Yeah, that's not the correct Enoch though. That's that other book.
There's two Enochs.
Yeah, there's two Enochs.
They're not like separate. There's Enoch 1 and Enoch 2. One's about something different. One's about something else. They're both supposed to be by Enoch.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
That second book of Enoch, bro. That's not the Enoch that walked with God, bro. I'm telling you.
Oh.
That's that Gnostic crap.
Yeah, it's don't even pay any attention to the second book or
don't pay attention to the second, third book of Enoch. That's what they tried to put together in a Gnostic text about Enoch. That's why I said you gotta be careful when you reading the book of Enoch. The only book of Enoch is the one that explains how he walked with God. The one we looking at is the one that's the real book. The other two is that Gnostic crap.
Oh yeah, it's not Gnostic, but you're definitely right. They're different. They're from different ages.
That's what I'm saying.
But one is about one focuses on his celestial ascent through the heavens and his transformation, and
Yeah, and they call him Metatron.
one Enoch is about Jewish apocalyptic and cosmological stuff. Or Enoch 2 is about includes Christian elements and emphasizes heavily visions, ethical teachings, and Enoch's metamorphosis.
Yeah, into Metatron.
Metatron sounds like a comic book name.
Yeah, that's why I say, man. Look, man. I read everything, bro. I study, and I study extensively. That's how I know how to call out what's what, bro. The other two books of Enoch ain't the real ones, but that's why they do that, so they could discredit this Enoch. So everybody be like, "Well, the book of Enoch is all of them is just false." No, it ain't. They ain't. That's how they do it.
I don't think they did it on purpose. I think it's just people
Dude.
writing books back then.
Dude, they did it with bro, man, if you understood the level of deception that these people is playing, bro, you would. I'm telling you, man. That's why when people like me get to talking about it, people think we crazy because the deception runs so deep to where people can't even fathom how deep the deception goes. They say that, the devil plans to deceive the whole world, bro. That's his plan. So if that's his plan, he got people working for him. Of course, he got agents in place that's going to put out whatever they need to lead people astray, bro. That's the
You
whole.
don't know anything is right in the Bible then, really, under that, right? There could be people messing with Genesis chapter 1 or like Book of John.
I wouldn't say that. That's a dangerous game to be playing right there.
No, well, it's true. You don't really know, right?
Well, if that's the case, then we might as well toss the whole Bible out, including the New Testament, right?
Well, if something from like the 4th or 3rd century could be messed with, why not something from the 2nd century? You know what I mean?
Why not the whole thing, right?
Probably because the only real proof and reason is the early church fathers and the apostles. Yeah.
They were
apostolic fathers, the people that were taught and learned from the people that actually knew Jesus. That's the only reason we have confirmation that the actual Bible is true.
Well, the early church fathers would be Paul, Peter, John, those guys, not Justin Martyr and all them, because they wasn't around when Christ was around.
I know. They were taught by people like the apostolic fathers.
Could it be that they were taught by the Pharisees? Because they kind of sound just like the Pharisees.
The apostolic fathers were taught directly from like the disciples of John, Peter, people like that. Just like you said, they give stuff down orally and they're disciples.
Could it be that they learned some stuff from the Pharisees as well?
Could be, I guess. The same could be said for anything, unless it comes straight from the original authors. And unfortunately, we don't have anything from the original authors.
Or we do, and they just ain't telling us, right?
Or that, yeah.
That's why I say, man, people got to understand how far the deception go, man. I don't protect deception, man. I shatter deceptions. A lot of people just believe that, we told, look, man, I'm bringing this up. This is why I say, man, I only keep stuff biblical, man. I don't go outside the Bible unless I got to. Unless I'm trying to prove something wrong by using the Bible to prove that wrong, then that's when I go into other stuff. But other than that, when it's talking truth, it's only going to come out the Bible. That's it. Because I believe what the Bible actually say about everything, not just a few things that I want, everything, bro. So it says, let God be true and every man a liar. I follow that.
Does First Enoch claim that angels were building the ark?
No, it never did. That's why I said you gotta go more into the book of Enoch, man. There's other stuff in there other than fallen angels.
Let's see.
I told you I read this whole book 3 times. I ain't never seen nothing about no angels built no ark.
Also, it says first Enoch identifies the angel Azazel as the source of all sin.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
That's
it's
true.
not.
Yeah, it is.
In Genesis, sin originates from human disobedience, being tempted by the serpent. That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
What are you talking about?
The book of Enoch names the exact angel that deceived Eve.
The book of Enoch says the angel Azazel is the source of all sin.
No.
No? So you're telling me the book
Which angel
Enoch,
was? Which one was it that deceived Eve?
Satan?
No, it wasn't.
Who
Satan
was it?
Satan was. It says a serpent. It didn't say Satan was in the garden. It said a serpent was in the garden.
Pretty sure it was Satan, but I could be wrong.
You think it's only one serpent-looking creature in the garden?
No, I don't. But...
Okay, but Enoch gives the exact name of the angel that deceived Eve. He gives the name.
And it says that Azazel was the one in the Garden of Eden that took the form of a serpent.
I didn't say that. I said the book of Enoch gives the name of the exact angel that deceived Eve. Now, if you want to find it, you got to go in the book of Enoch.
Okay, where? Do you know where?
Yes, I do.
Because that's a huge deal, bro. If you care about truth and you can see a direct contradiction, then you got to call it out, or you're not.
Bro, you don't even want to call out the stuff that I'm pointing out as lies. That's being told by mere men on the earth. So why would I have to do that?
What? Like what?
With everything that I brought up.
You just
how
said
they taking out scripture, how they changing stuff around, how they lying to us about how everything was created. Everything, Nick.
I was agreeing, but that's just a bold statement to say everything, and they're changing everything. Like where
they are. Nick, you did shows about how they trying to change stuff. Come on now.
I'm not saying they aren't, but
believe it? Now you don't believe it?
No, I'm not saying they aren't changing stuff. I'm just saying to say that you just literally said that they're changing everything.
They are, Nick. They are. How do you think? How you think this earth is going to be the same when the Bible even say that the earth ain't going to be the same, bro? It's going to be different.
Yeah. So if you care about truth, let's try and get to the bottom of some of these contradictions.
I've been getting to the truth. Every truth I bring out gets slapped down, but the other truth, when people talk their truth, I don't slap it down, bro. I say, okay. That sounds interesting. Let me go look into that. But if I already know it's false, bro, I'm not gonna believe it. Simple as that. And I've done enough research to understand that we're being lied to on a grand scale. People could be blind to it all they want. That's on them. Me personally, I'm not gonna fall in that. Sorry. All right, so here we go. So there's the sons and men. Here it is right here. Where is it? It's up here somewhere. That's that angel. Here it is. There you go. Share this screen real quick if it even come up. For some odd reason, my screen don't come up no more.
You're trying to share it and it doesn't. Oh, wait, here it comes. Okay.
So right here it says the name of the third angel is Gadriel.
Yeah.
This is the one that showed all the deadly blows to the Son of Man, and he led astray Eve.
Gadriel.
Lucifer's real name is Gadriel.
Okay.
Lucifer is a title, bro. It's a title. Because Lucifer was also given to
I know it's a title. I know it's a title. The original fallen angel, Lucifer, morning star, whatever you want to call him, his real actual name is Gadriel.
Yep. You gotta do this. You gotta do this
Lucifer's
research. You gotta do this
The
research, brother.
third is
just like
Gadriel.
God's the title for Yahweh.
Yeah, God is a title. It's not his name. His name is Yah,
And he
Yahuwah,
led astray.
or something.
Or Jehovah Rapha, Abba for father, right?
Yeah.
So he actually
just like
has many names. But
just like Jesus' name is Yehoshua in Hebrew.
Yeshua.
It's Yehoshua in the Hebrew. That's what the pronunciation.
Semantics.
It's just what I heard from the pronounced
Yeah,
word.
I've heard of Yahushua, Yeshua, certain like
but,
Cooper's translations and pronunciations of his name. Jesus isn't his actual name, but demons do flee from that name because they know what it's representing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You still there, Melvin?
Yeah, I'm still here.
How was that chicken breast, bro?
I'm full.
Yeah. Protein, man. Chicken is like the best protein for me.
Oh, I gotta take this dang medicine, man.
How are you feeling? How's your health, bro? I heard you were doing too great.
Oh, I got nerve damage in my leg
From what?
from a lot of stuff that I don't know if it's from I got ran over a while back or all this other stuff that happened, but it's just been bothering me lately, and I had to go in and get me an MRI done. They can't find nothing wrong.
So
Wow.
Everything I think of is that when my foot got ran over, or I got hit on when I got hit on my bike a while back.
That was years ago, like C19 days when you got ran over on your bike, right?
No, that was like 2016.
So I don't think Gadriel is Lucifer, dude. According to everything Lucifer. I can find, he's not.
He's Lucifer.
Well, not according. If you can link me something to back that up, I'll believe you. But
an interesting perspective on something too. I think it. The guy the prophet that's saying, "Oh, Lucifer, I saw you falling from hell and everything." He was actually talking to the king of Tyre. Gadriel was the king of
Babylon. That was the king of Babylon.
Are you talking about, "Oh, Lucifer, I saw you fall from heaven like a star in the morning star," or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was Jesus who said
Lucifer
that.
was not called the morning star for one. He was called the son of the morning.
Pretty sure that was Jesus witnessing the battle in heaven and saw him get thrown out of heaven.
No,
it was the prophet talking
king of Babylon.
I saw you from heaven fall like lightning.
Bro, it was talking about a king.
No, yeah. Luke 10:18. Jesus told
that
him.
king was Gadriel.
No, not Luke. We talk about something totally different. We talk about in Isaiah.
Oh, okay,
so it intertwines, Melvin. Gadriel had his own kingdom on earth. He has a throne.
If you're talking about the verse that says, "And I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven,"
yeah,
that was Jesus who said that.
No, not that one. In the prophets,
it's in Isaiah. It's in Isaiah 14. He was talking about the king of Babylon when he mentioned Lucifer there.
That was Gadriel.
Gadriel's not Lucifer from everything I can see. Okay, well, I can't see anything that says he is. So I'm
Lucifer is just a title. It's not a name.
Well, from everything I can see, bro, it says Gadriel was. First of all, it says Gadriel. Where am I? Let me bring it up.
Okay, hold that thought. I just got to run to the bathroom.
Sure. Gadriel is an angelic figure who appears in various myths, traditions, and fan-created works, most famously as a guardian of the Garden of Eden who was tricked by Lucifer into letting him in. Book of Enoch, it talks about he is in. Book of Enoch. Gadriel is mentioned as a leader of the Grigori, corrupt watchers who taught humans warfare. He's also identified as one of the Satans who led other angels to have children with humans, resulting in the Nephilim. Genesis. This is from the book of Genesis.
Because later on in the book of Enoch, it says that there isn't one say that it says the Satans in there. So Satan is also a title.
So, while not, this is Genesis. In Genesis, while not a canonical figure in the original book of Genesis, non-canonical traditions often identify Gadriel as the angel who was originally guarded the Garden of Eden. He was tricked by Lucifer and failed his duty, leading to the fall of man and his subsequent imprisonment. And then I checked out.
Well, that just mentions that Enoch.
Is Gadriel Lucifer? No, Gadriel is not Lucifer. They are two different angels. Though Gadriel is sometimes associated with the event where Lucifer entered the Garden of Eden. So I can't find anything.
Well, that right there alludes to the fact that Gadriel was the one that deceived Eve.
Well, it says he
He was saying it. So
yeah. It says he tricked.
So that's why
he tricked by Lucifer and let him into the Garden of This says he let Lucifer into the Garden of Eden. He was tricked by Lucifer and let Lucifer into the Garden of Eden.
That's why I said we ain't gonna understand it. Most of the stuff is always room for speculation because again they remove so much stuff out of the Bible.
Yeah.
To where they got everybody questioning everything, and then the pastors and preachers they want to preach their own little doctrines. They want to tell people certain things that ain't even biblical, like your Joel Osteens and your all them.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, like if they doing it and it's growing rapidly, I'm telling you, it's growing rapidly. You got people like playing prophet and acting like they acting like when they put their hand on you and they act like they
that's such garbage.
Yeah, that demonic stuff that they do, and they do it right in front of everybody, and then everybody they're getting saved. No, they're not.
Stupid.
They get demonically possessed.
Another thing I don't like is tongues when they're like saying all this stupid stuff and like flopping around on the ground.
And see, that's another thing. They take that context out. They take that out of the context, and that's what them Pentecostals do. They'll say, you're not saved if you don't speak in tongues. Well, when you read the Bible, it says when they were speaking in tongues that everyone understood
them. Yeah.
It was only one instance where they were speaking, in tongues that no one could understand because it was the language of angels. That's the only time we get it mentioned in the Bible. But that does not happen all the time. It does. No. That what they talking, I would say, it's a tongue, but it's a demonic tongue. That's
and in Pentecost in the Bible, when the Holy Spirit came upon them, it literally says that like they were from different countries basically around the land, but they could all of a sudden understand what each other was saying.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Anybody could take what this Bible say and run with it. If you gonna make it what you want it to say, anybody can say the Bible say anything. I'm gonna say what the Bible exactly says. I'm not gonna twist, contort. If it say this, it say it. I mean, that's if we can't believe what's in there, then we might as well just put down the Bible then.
Speaking of prophets, Perry hashtags himself as a prophet now when he makes his videos. Hashtag Perry prophet.
Ain't no prophet. People better stop playing games with the Most High, and we already living in borrowed time right now.
Yeah,
that's why I'm like, man, I'm not about to play no games. I'm not playing no games with this book. If we gonna believe it, we gonna believe everything in it. That's me. That's how me and my mom is. If we gonna believe this book, we gonna believe whatever is in here.
That's a good way to be, bro. But I think we can all agree that
if it's something that go against the Most High, then we question. I don't go to because scholars are just mere men. They could be flawed too.
Oh, for sure.
Them explaining the Bible could be leading people astray.
For sure, yeah, for sure, bro. I think the most important and something that we can all agree upon is like the most important part of the Bible is to follow the commandments of Christ, right? To love one another, to love God with all your heart and soul, love your neighbor as yourself, and to become saved and get through the Father through Christ, like the Bible says, right?
And another important thing is, if you don't understand something, ask the Most High. Pray, ask Him. Give me understanding on this. If I'm wrong, correct me.
Yeah, amen. Yeah, for sure.
If I don't understand something, see, this is why I don't lie when I say this. This is why I tell people all the stuff that I tell them, because I feel like the Most High showed me. He led me. It ain't like he was just like he came to me in a vision. It was like, it was like, look at this, pray about it. Prayed about it, and then I go and read the Bible, and bam, it's right there. And I'm like, okay.
That's cool. That's cool, man. Holy cow, Melvin. That was 2016. Yeah, Melvin, we've known each other for a long time, and you too, I guess, Arctic. That was like when I first started my channel, dude. That's when my channel was called like End Times Ministry. That was like so long ago. I didn't know. Melvin knew
that was before I actually started popping up on your channel. I came on your channel around 2017.
So a long time, bro. That's like 8 years.
Wow. I think I started coming around on your channel in 2020 when I thought you were a kid.
Yeah, not anymore. I'm getting older.
When was that? When was that when you was on the that breathing machine?
Shit, that was a long time ago, bro. That was like 20. Well, that was like also that was like 5 years ago, but before then too, I was on it. So
really,
I could be anything.
I remember it was because that I only came on your show twice when you was on that breathing machine, I think. But that's when I first saw Perry, and at first the first video. No, for real, no lie.
Don't say his name 2 more times because he'll appear like Candyman.
Perry could get in here and he could get slaughtered to
the bone. No, don't say it 1 more time because he will appear like Candyman.
Yes. He's like a demon if you say his name 3 times and just show up.
Oh God. Nobody says his name for at least like 5 minutes to space it out.
I don't care.
That's funny.
Nobody in here worried about him. He could go. I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? I tried pulling people out at what he be falsely teaching. Because, I mean, that's a prime point example right there of how anybody could teach anything they want out the Bible. He a prime point example. Instead of actually teaching the Bible. Now, I will say he is right on the flat earth thing, but other than that, no.
Yeah, he's crazy, bro.
Oh, man, that guy is.
I agree with him on the flat earth thing because, like I said, I did all the research I could do.
Yeah.
And you know, like I said, how do military men track targets 1,000 miles out when around a curve? It's no way possible on a target like that. They firing rockets from 1,000 miles out. And they got a laser to aim at these targets 1,000 miles out, and the laser shoots straight. But it's how do they lock onto it around the curve? It doesn't make sense, you know. But that's just what I looked into. My family been in the military, bro, so I know.
Yeah, he's a couple people have actually come out of his cult recently, like that one named Little Pup. I remember when he was like in his 20s, like years ago, and he was hanging out with us, and then Perry started like sucking him in like a demon. And,
God, you said it. Now he's gonna appear.
He got him in, and then like recently he came out, and he's like in my Discord now. And he's like apologized and stuff. He's like, yeah, sorry, I was young and like new in Christ. He's like, you guys tried to warn me, but like I guess I had to find out for the hard way. So like
I got a free KJV from Perry.
Yeah, some people come out of it. Like it takes a while, but some people do.
Like the Bible say, man, Marvel not for Satan is transformed into an angel of light. So it's no wonder that his ministers are transformed into angels of righteousness. He want to be preaching. He think he preaching righteousness, but what he doing is leading people into sin, and then he making them feel comfortable in there. Oh, just as long as you don't believe it's a sin, it ain't a sin. You know, Christ died on the cross for us to sin. No, he didn't.
So bad.
No,
So
he didn't,
bad.
bro. No, he didn't.
Just like there's so many things in the Bible, Melvin, that like talk explicitly against him. Like, what's that one in Isaiah that says, "Woe to them that call evil good and good evil"? And
Isaiah 5:20 through 24.
Yeah, that's like exactly like him. It's so crazy, dude. And
That's
also
why-
that other one, Matthew chapter 7, verse 21, that says, "But many will come to me in the last days, saying, haven't we done all these great things in your name and this?" And then at the end, he will say, "Depart from me, I never knew you, those who work lawlessness."
Yeah,
That one too is like,
and that's the point. That's the point. And he talking about that happening in the last days, bro. So that's why, like, I know a lot of people believe it, and a lot of people might hate when I say it, but when Christ said until all things be fulfilled, he was talking about all the prophecies all the way to the end. Those who endure until the end, the same shall be saved.
yeah.
We got, you know, it's all about obedience. We make our own choices in life. Nobody don't make the choices for us. They even know when they doing what they doing and they playing their little hand they playing, they know that they can't force us to do nothing. That it gotta be us with our free will to accept that.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
if you accept it willingly, then they got you. If they force it on you, it's like, well, he didn't accept it in his own free will. We got to get him to accept it. That's the only way it's going to work.
By the way, Catherine is coming on here on October 26th, I believe, to tell her she had some kind of an NDE or some story, testimony she's going to tell. So make sure you guys watch and check that one out. It should be pretty cool story. Melvin's had some good end times visions himself.
Yeah, but Arctic Wolf, that's the thing. Look up what the horizon. Look up the definition of a horizon, bro. That's going to tell you everything you need to know.
Horizon.
It says the line, not the curve, the line where the sky and the earth appears to meet.
Proof. There you go, man. The horizon. That's what the definition of horizon. That's it. The earth is flat. It's got to be. It's because when you look out, Melvin, you don't see the curvature. The earth's too big. It's not going to see the curve where it meets the earth.
Nick.
What? When you look out at the horizon, you don't see like a curve, right? You see a line meeting the sky and the earth.
Nick.
What?
Stop it. Stop it. We know water is flat, okay? We know water always have to be level wherever
Not all the time.
Yes.
No, you ever hear of what's it called? I think it's called hibiscus or something. When if you look close, you can see literally water like curving. I think it's called hibiscus or something.
Oh, I thought you said
the actual name.
Hibiscus is a tea.
But you can see, no, there's a hibiscus flower. I don't remember the exact name of this, but if you look like on the edge of cups and like other things, if you look closely, you can literally see water curving, like it curves.
No.
Yeah, it does.
You're looking at it through a glass. You're looking at it through
it's curving on top of the glass.
No, you're looking at it through a glass.
No, it's curving on top of the glass. I'll try and find it.
You call that a curve, Nick?
Well, you just said water can never curve. I'm trying to show you.
Okay, if you pour a little bit more water on there, what is it going to do?
Well, it's going to spill over the top and fall on.
And it's going to what? It's going to even out, no matter how you put it.
The point is, water.
The point is, that's if you put it at a certain level. Yeah, it's going to bulge over, but it's not going to spill over.
It's curving.
Yeah. But if you pour a little bit more on there, it's going to even out. Let's talk about a glass half full. What does the water?
In a glass. It's in a glass.
Yeah, and it's always level.
It's unless you meniscus. That's what it's called.
Look, unless you're gonna say, "Oh, it does curve because it's in
It's
the cup."
called meniscus.
Oh, but I'm talking about oceans.
I know what you're talking about.
Hey Nick, you ever flown from the north to the south and went around the ball and came back up the north again? Is that
Check this
possible?
out.
Is it possible
Possible what?
to fly to the south, going south, coming back up to the north? Is it possible?
Is it possible to fly from the south up to the north?
Is it possible if you're in Canada, right, and you want to
Yeah.
fly around the world going from north to south? Is it possible?
You can fly from north to south. Why couldn't you? Why
No.
couldn't you fly from north to south?
Going from north to south, back up to the north from the south.
Oh, well, you
going
could,
straight.
but there's not a lot
Going
of like
straight
places
to
to
Saturn.
refuel.
No, let's say they had many fuel stops. Let's say that, and they kept
Okay,
flying
yeah, why not?
in the same exact direction.
Why not?
You can look it up. They say it's impossible.
Oh, okay, well,
You
I didn't know
can't.
that
do
was
it.
that funny, but I don't know all things.
It is.
So.
You know why it's funny? Because they actually tell you that even though you're on a ball, the physics of a ball flying around the ball doesn't work because it's not a ball.
Be like, oh, here we
Y
go.
ahora lo mismo, pero con agua en
Okay, look at the water. It's curved. Oh my
Look like
lord.
oil.
No, it's water. It's called meniscus. It's water curving.
Yeah, because he's using droplets.
So
And
what?
look
It's
what
water
happens.
curving.
But
Still
look,
curved.
yeah,
Look
because
at this.
okay, so look, raindrops got a curve on it too, right? Raindrops. It looks like a raindrop, Nick. When I have a raindrop
Yeah,
on the
that
car
is
window, it
rain-
bulges
Just
too.
prove that the round is the
But
round
that
is the
doesn't
earth is
prove
round, right?
large scale water.
Raindrops
like
are another
the
proof
ocean.
of earth of
What about
earth
an
being
ocean?
Keep on playing this. This is kind of interesting.
Yeah,
What about
this
an ocean?
literally
What about
proves
an
that
ocean?
water can curve.
Okay, why didn't he put the alcohol at the top like the water?
It's not alcohol, it's water.
No, it is alcohol he's using.
No, this one on the right is. The
Yeah,
one on the
but
left
why,
is.
the alcohol too. He's using alcohol too. I
I
see it.
know,
Right?
look, it has a small meniscus, but alcohol's thinner than water. This is just meant to show you that water can actually curve.
Yeah. Okay. If I put it in a tube and did a bunch of
No, it wasn't before. It was just
scientific
meniscus.
stuff like making water drops, because water drops act the same way too, Nick. But that doesn't mean
Yeah,
that.
it's called gravity, right? It's kind of crazy how that works, how it turns everything into a sphere, including raindrops. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's weird.
Mhm.
Very weird.
You don't believe in gravity either, do you?
No, I don't. Because it
What?
deals with space.
He
Because
doesn't
it
believe in
Don't
gravity.
deal with gravity.
He doesn't.
So how do we stick to the ground, Melvin, and not float away?
He's going to
Oh,
call
my
it
goodness.
buoyancy.
Oh my goodness. Your body
What is it?
mass, bro. Your
Your
body mass.
Yeah. That explains how like 1,000-pound rock and a 2-pound hammer fall at the exact same rate beside each other, right? Body mass.
Well, technically, both are heavier than the air. So if you do drop them at the same time, of course they're going to fall at the same speed.
Well, do you know what? Do you know what's the air below is thicker than the air above? So if the air above is thinner and it's all about mass, and what do flat earthers call it? Buoyancy, and they say buoyancy because they say something always finds itself to the lower density, and if
They
you're
don't
going to
say
go
that.
through the thin, yeah,
They-
that is what flat
They
earthers
do
say.
say that, then they are part of that flat earth community that's planned to go out and deceive. So stop using what they say, because that's their whole little
Okay, so
deception.
you said body mass. What does that mean then? Just how would that matter? What makes body mass?
Are you heavier than the air around you, Nick?
Yeah, but
Yes,
why?
you are.
Why? Because of gravity.
Because your body mass, Nick. You have a body mass. You have
body
weight.
mass. Why
You
do
have
we
weight.
weigh anything?
Nick, the water around you, when you go swimming, like say for instance, you go swimming in the ocean, right? The water is heavier than you, right? So you'll float because you got air inside your body and stuff. You know when people float on their back on the water,
Well, the water of a hole is heavier than you, but in the whole ocean, but not like just around you where you are.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying, Nick. If you go swimming in the ocean, like I just said, you're gonna float in the water because your body is buoyant.
Well,
But
I
if you
mean,
skydive, Nick, it's not gravity bringing you down; it's your own weight.
that still doesn't
I mean, that's
explain.
simple.
That
No,
doesn't explain.
They say, all right,
That doesn't explain why something that weighs 1,000 pounds and something that weighs 1 pound will fall at the same rate. That doesn't explain that.
Nick, can I play an audio or something, please?
Sure, yeah, sure.
Okay. Hold on.
Can't believe you don't believe in gravity, dude. You can literally feel it. You ever been on the Gravitron at the fair? You can literally feel gravity as it spins around, sticking you to the wall.
Hold on, Nick. I want to play something because I want to know a question.
I know that because I just took my wife there when I was in town like 7 months ago, and it was the first time I went on a ride in like 15 years, and I hated it so much. I thought I was gonna like die. The gravity was sticking me to the wall so bad, and I weighed so much I couldn't even breathe. I was having like a hard time breathing. But that thing spins around super fast with you inside it, and you stick to the wall from gravity. It's called the Gravitron, if you don't know what that ride's called.
Nick, I want you to hear something. Here we go. Let me know if you can hear this. Oh, wait. Don't want you to get copyright. I want you to hear what somebody has to say. We could solve this. We could solve this whole thing. Tell me if this makes sense. Tell me if this makes sense.
Can't hear it.
Here. Let's just do this. Share my screen.
All right.
Can't hear it?
No.
I can't believe you can't hear it, Nick.
No one else can either. It's not just me.
All right, let me see. Maybe
I
if
can't hear it either, bro.
Maybe if I share my screen, let me see.
It's always entertaining doing a show with you, Melvin.
Yeah, it is very entertaining. I bring the life to the party.
You do.
And my screen's not sharing anymore.
What do you want me to look up? I'll do it for you.
Hold on.
Tell me what to type in.
Just type in Neil deGrasse Tyson, what is gravity?
Okay.
And let's
I
listen.
really do not like that guy at all. But
No. He's a physicist. He knows what he's talking about.
Oh, he's such an idiot, man. When I watched him
They're
do
all
that,
idiots, Nick.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
See, I want
You look boy.
I wouldn't say that, bro.
Oh, that was like classic. Just boom, mic drop. I miss your mic drop sound where it's just like.
And I seen Neil deGrasse Tyson like debate this guy on like the COVID vax, and I lost like all respect for him after that.
But he's the most world-renowned cosmologist.
Yeah.
No, he's like the famous one, I guess, from TV.
Yeah, world-renowned. World-renowned.
I think Stephen Hawking was.
No, he's the smart guy. He's the guy that knows it all.
Smart. Okay, what is gravity? The one on Space Talk that's like 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yeah, just go to one.
Right.
What is gravity? The one that says what is gravity?
Yeah, there's a couple, but this one's only like 2 minutes.
No, it's like a segment on the show. It's just
on his show, on his dumb podcast, Space Talk or whatever, Star Talk.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
This is how they could feed you bull and laugh about it.
What is gravity? Oh,
yeah. Let's hear him explain what gravity is.
Okay.
This is Star Talk.
This is Star Talk.
What is gravity?
You have no idea. Okay, next question.
Wow.
No, here's the difference. We can describe gravity. We can say what it does to other things. We can measure it, predict with it. But when you start asking, like, what it is, I don't know.
And
Did
there
I
you go.
accidentally ask a
World-renowned
deeper question
physicists,
than
the
I meant
people that
to?
believe
Yeah,
in
no,
this
you
garbage,
didn't
don't even know what it is.
Well, he knows
Yeah.
what
Anyway,
causes it and
so,
what it does,
to
but
say
like,
But
what
they
is-
don't
I
know
think
what it
Einstein-
is.
here you go. Keep listening. It's only another minute and something long. Let's hear what he has to say.
In an Einsteinian answer, we would say gravity is the curvature of
The
space and time.
Einsteinian answer. What is that?
And objects will follow the curvature of space-time, and we interpret that as a force of gravity. That's probably the best answer I can give.
That's
for
the
what is
best
gravity
answer you're going to
question.
get.
Or
Dude, there's a lot of stuff in this world that people don't know.
why is there gravity? That's
No,
the best
he
I can do.
studied
I think
this.
that's a good start.
He studied it,
And
they don't
Like,
know
he
what it
studies
is.
like he studies space. He's like a
Yeah,
cosmic
and space
astronomer or
comes with
something.
gravity
Can
and all
also
that
say
other
that Einstein-
I'm
nonsense.
sure he
He
didn't
doesn't
dedicate
know
his
what it
full
is.
PhD to gravity alone.
But they don't know. You could go to another
matter
person. They'll say
tells
they don't know what it is
space-time
either,
curve.
Nick.
Bro,
None
it
of them
doesn't-
know.
Just because he doesn't know exactly what it is doesn't mean gravity's not a thing, man. Come on.
What is gravity then?
Well, I don't know. Like, but it exists clearly. Go jump off a
Of
cliff
course.
if you don't think
If
you
you
got
don't, if
gravity.
you can't even define what gravity is, then why the hell you believe it?
Well, first of all, it's a theory. It's not like an actual fact.
Yeah, it's a theory. Like people say conspiracy theories, right? It's
Okay.
a theory.
Clearly, you've never been on like a carnival ride. There's actually
It's
you can
not
go buy
based
that.
in fact. It's
You
not
can
based in
go.
fact.
You can
It's
go
a
buy that
theory.
plane
Hey,
ride
Nick.
ticket that
Hey,
drops
buddy.
that goes down space down. And
Hey,
you can do a
buddy.
gravity-less for a few minutes. You actually float around inside the cabin and be able to.
Hey,
What?
Nick,
Why does that happen?
is the theory truth or is it speculation?
Well, it depends. A scientific theory is literally the most well-known and established thing of that thing that you can get before truth. And the only
Okay.
reason they call it that in
So,
science is so
If
someone
I'm
can
a
come along.
conspiracy theorist, that means
Mhm.
I'm speaking a little bit of truth, but I'm trying to
No.
find out.
Well, there's a huge difference between here. I'll read you the
Good point
description.
there.
There's a huge difference between a scientific theory and like some guy saying, "Duh, the Earth is flat." Here's my
Hey,
theory.
Nick, do you even know where the term conspiracy theory came from?
From you, probably by the sounds of it.
No, it came from people trying to go against the Warner Commission when they would start questioning what the government was doing. Then they start calling people conspiracy theorists to shut people up.
Yeah, I could believe that. So,
Yeah,
a scientific theory, by definition, is a well-substantiated explanation of some aspect of the natural world that is supported by a vast body of evidence, repeatedly confirmed through observation and experimentation. It's not a guess. It's a reliable and comprehensive account that explains why natural phenomena occurs. It's
Okay, so a
scientific law.
conspiracy
It's not like
theorist.
law, right? It's not
So,
like a-
so wait. A conspiracy theorist could be going through, looking into all these conspiracies. They're conspiring to,
Mhm.
lie to everybody. And we're looking at this stuff, right? And
Well,
yeah.
here's the difference, right? Like, here's one: the scientific theory, characteristics of it, based on evidence. Theories are built upon
What
a
evidence?
large,
They can't even tell us
consistently
what gravity
confirmed body of facts, observations, and experimental results. No, but there's a lot of evidence that gravity is a thing. It's real.
But what is it?
You don't have to know what something is to know that it's there.
I know what a tree is, and it's there.
Well, you
but-
don't know. You probably don't know what gamma rays are, or
There ain't no
X-rays
gamma rays.
are-
Where's a gamma ray? What?
Are there
what-
X-rays? Are there X-rays? Is there
Well,
is there
there's
radiation?
X-rays.
Is there radiation, bro?
If they
Is there-
use gamma rays and X-rays, then yeah, that I could believe because I believe X-rays actually exist.
Okay, but you don't know what they are, do you?
Yeah, I do. They're a big machine that takes pictures of your bones.
No, that's not what X-rays are. They're
X-rays
tiny
don't
particles
take
of light
pictures of
that
your
pass
bones.
through. No, X-rays are tiny particles of light that pass through your
Well,
body.
when I think of an X-ray, I think of a big machine that's taking imagery of your bones.
Okay,
through
but
your-
that's not what it is. That's what I'm
Really?
saying. Yeah, really.
Oh, that's what it does. Okay.
No, that's an X-ray machine. That
See how you could define an X-ray, but you can't define gravity?
because they know what X-rays are.
I'm sorry, Nick. You just stepping in it. You stepping in it.
Yeah, I'm stepping in it, but you don't think gravity's real. Everyone laugh
I
at me.
don't.
So
Because
no.
it makes-
I'm laughing because you guys sound exactly like brothers trying to make points to each other.
Nah, man.
You guys
One
have
of
known
these
each
days,
other
Why
one of
would
these
I
for a
have-
days,
long
Nick,
time, and
one
it
of these
shows.
days, Nick, I'm gonna break down those barriers.
Yeah, I bet. You're going to have to work pretty hard if you want me to believe there's no such thing as gravity and there's no such thing as space and the earth is flat, and you're going to have a lot of breaking down to do, bro.
Personally, I think that these topics are interesting. I don't believe they're self-vedic issues. However, like the different points of view on either side are incredibly interesting to me.
Well, for me,
They're not too many. They're just a waste of time. If no one's ever going to believe that something like gravity exists, then, like, come on, man.
well, see, gravity ties in with evolution. So if I don't believe in evolution, it
You
ties in
think
with that.
everything ties in with evolution, bro?
Ties in with Big Bang. It all ties in. The Big Bang goes into the Earth. The Earth that way goes into evolution, and then all the monkeys and all the germs evolved into all these animals and creatures, and then here we are, right? That's what the ball Earth is all
Oh,
about.
so there can't be gravity because of that. Come on, dude.
Once a lie, always a lie.
So, like, things with, like, smaller masses can be heavier than things with larger masses, right?
Yep, yep. A lead ball could be heavier than a tennis ball.
So it
because
can't
of
just
the
be mass.
mass. You just said it. Because of the mass of the object.
No, I said things with smaller masses can be heavier than things with larger
Yeah, exactly.
masses.
The word you're using is mass, Nick. You know how a pinball is all lead, right? It's heavier than a tennis ball, right? So it's going to be heavier than a tennis ball, which is bigger than it, right? Because it has a higher mass value. It doesn't have nothing to do with gravity.
Yeah, but I just said things with things with smaller masses can be heavier than things with smaller masses.
Yeah, and you keep saying the word mass, Nick.
Yeah, you clearly don't understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with gravity. That's what you're not understanding.
Yeah, it does.
Mass doesn't have anything to do with
Okay,
gravity.
so how do you explain then these things falling at the same rate beside each other?
Can a tennis ball and a pinball fall at the same rate?
Yes.
No. The pinball will fall faster. Why?
No, it won't.
Because the pinball is heavier than the tennis ball.
Dude, if you take 1,000-pound rock and a 1-pound rock, they will fall at the exact same rate. It's been confirmed. 100%.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Did they use a speedometer?
It's 100% confirmed.
But did they use a speedometer? Because the speedometer would tell you.
I don't know
which
what they use. Probably.
Yeah, but
Probably
it would
some
tell
kind of
you
radar
which-
gun for
it would-
speed or
it
something.
would tell you which one is going faster and which one isn't.
Yeah, they definitely use that stuff, dude.
Well, can you show a video where they're demonstrating this
Yeah.
with a speedometer?
Yeah, okay, man. Like, you're just impossible sometimes.
No, I'm difficult because I want exact evidence. I want all the evidence.
He wants to be precise.
Yes. I want to
Okay.
dig deep. I don't dig on the surface.
One thing I've noticed about Melvin, he does
We going
try
in the
very
rabbit
hard to
hole.
articulate himself.
Okay, let's I can't believe you don't know this, but let's just before we go, let's find a video for you.
They got to have a speedometer or else I'm not going to believe it.
Oh, Nick,
Yeah.
the end of Blackstone was brutal, man. I watched the whole series.
You're already done?
I'm already done. Melvin,
Yeah.
you want to learn about our people? Watch the TV show Blackstone, man. You will be like, what the hell? Yeah. Dude, that stuff really does happen. Holy crap.
Is it like Final Destination?
No, it's how the Canadian people treat the native people.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a brutal show, dude. It covers everything from addiction to SA and everything. And that, yeah.
I heard them Navajo people up there in Canada is like with the stuff, man.
No, the Navajo cousins, the Cree.
The Creek.
Yeah, I'm Cree. The
No, what
Navajo.
I'm saying is I heard they be into a lot of street stuff up there too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Okay, here you go. You don't need a speedometer to see this with your own eyes.
Yeah, you need a speedometer so you can know which is going fast.
You don't.
That's how you do. That's how you scientifically test stuff and prove it.
You don't need a speedometer to see this with your own
Yes.
eyes.
You need a speedometer.
Here we go. This is with here we go. This is with air
I
resistance.
couldn't see nothing because they switched the camera. I need a speedometer.
This is with air resistance. It's a bowling ball and feather.
That's
right?
not a bowling ball. That looked like a little.
It's a bowling ball. It's a
That looked
bowling
like a
ball.
little-
It's a
Like
bowling
a
ball.
little.
Okay, I'm
what
gonna
is that
play it.
ping pong
This is
ball?
with air resistance. This is a bowling
Look
ball
like a ping pong.
with air resistance.
Oh, looks like that ball fell faster than the feather.
Yeah, with air resistance. Now let's watch without air resistance.
No, no, no.
Here we go. Without air resistance. Oh, weird. They're falling at the
What
exact
hit
same
the
rate.
ground first? What hit the ground first?
It looks. I'm pretty sure a bowling ball weighs more than a feather, right?
And why do it look like that ball is connected with the feathers? Look at
The
that.
feather fell first.
No, why does it look like that ball is connected with the feathers
Connected
on
with
the second
feathers.
go around?
They're
Because
not
of
connected.
aerodynamics.
They're not
No.
connected. This is without air resistance and with air resistance. There's so many of these experiments have been done, bro. Look, they're not connected. I'll pause it when they hit the ground. They're not connected.
Well, that's not based on reality because
There.
we all know that there's always going to be air
It's
resistance.
100% reality, dude. If you
No,
have
it's
two rocks, they don't fall through the air.
When is there
Feather-
never air resistance on the Earth, Nick?
Air resistance has nothing to do with it, bro.
Oh, then why are you showing the video?
You don't understand, do you? How much does a feather weigh and how much does a bowling ball weigh?
Okay, you just played a video with air resistance and without air resistance.
Because
That means they had to.
feathers will
Wait,
get
wait,
caught in
wait.
the air, duh.
Okay, so air resistance is always on the Earth, Nick. The wind is always blowing.
Bro, it's called terminal velocity. It's a well-known thing. People, scientists have known this for like
Terminal.
thousands of years, bro.
Thousands of years.
Yeah, just like they've known the Earth is round for thousands of years.
All right, they had to stick in the sand.
Do you know Aristotle calculated the diameter of the Earth and was only
You
off
know
by like
Aristotle was a
he was
Freemason.
only off by a Freemason.
Yeah,
He was only off by like 400
you
miles.
can look it up. It's verified.
He's only off by 400 miles.
Like
bro.
Buzz Aldrin is a Freemason. He goes to space all the time, right? Well, he used to.
Aristotle, the Greek philosopher that lived like 3,000 years ago, was a Freemason.
Yep, you could look it up.
Where do you get this stuff from, dude?
Where do I get it from? Research, Nick. Aristotle and all the others were Masons, bro. Believe it or not.
Everybody's a Mason, right?
That's what it says. He was a Freemason.
Aristotle.
I didn't say it.
Did they even have Freemasons back then?
Yep.
No,
Yep.
no,
Yeah.
no.
They started at the
No.
Tower of Babel, bro.
Dude, Aristotle was not a Freemason.
Yes, he was a Freemason.
No, he wasn't, dude.
Yeah, he was.
Aristotle lived in 350 BC.
Oh, how far
You think
back
he was
did
a Freemason?
Freemasonry go?
Freemasonry dates back apparently to like the 18th century AD. So like the year 1700 and something.
Yeah, with what Adam Weishaupt.
So it's a little like, dude, he literally was
Melvin does have a slight point, and I'll explain why. Because the
Slight point of what?
Freemasons actually based their theology off of the Tower of Babylon. What was going on around the Tower of Babylon. So he does have a bit of a point there. It's interconnected.
How does Aristotle being a Freemason, how does that? I don't understand.
No, I'm saying it's interconnected because
What?
Aristotle based his theology on Babylonian theology, and that's what Adam Weishaupt.
Masons. Just
Also
because they
based-
say just like that one dude said, you know, they Masons, but they won't tell you that they're a Mason.
Babylonian theology.
Yeah, they did. They yeah. Mhm. Why you think they practiced alchemy and stuff back then? You know what alchemy is, Nick? It sounds like something that the fallen angels taught men. In the
Aristotle didn't practice. He didn't study alchemy. He was like
I'm just saying. What I'm saying, I'm just giving an example, Nick. Back then, they studied alchemy and all that. Everything goes back to that. That whole
I think is more of like a medieval period kind of thing.
They still meddle with that. Excuse me. They'll tell you they're not Freemasons because they don't want you to actually know that they're Masons, Nick.
And Aristotle didn't base his studies on Babylon at all. His primary influence was Plato.
If you know what Masons believe,
philosopher who studied in Athens. He had nothing to do with Babylon.
Oh, right. The Philosopher's Stone. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aristotle was a student of Plato, bro. Plato's Academy in Athens.
Plato. I know for sure Plato.
Why is that funny?
If he studied under Plato, I know for sure.
Yikes.
Yikes. I'm telling you, man.
What grade did you get to, bro? Just curious.
What grade did I get to?
Yeah.
Let me see. I dropped out of school 12th grade.
Dropped out in the 12th grade?
In the 12th grade.
Why
yes,
did you do that? You wouldn't even stick around and get your diploma?
No, I didn't.
That's crazy.
You want to know why?
All that work for nothing? Why?
You want to know why? Because the teachers was disrespectful and the principals didn't care, and the school I was going to really wasn't a decent school to be going to because the teachers didn't care. And once I got cussed out by a teacher, I went crazy. That was the old me, though.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was pretty bad.
I didn't want to be in that.
Did you go to?
Huh?
What high school did you go to?
I went to McClymonds, the only school in West Oakland.
So it was like a black school and the teachers were racist and shit?
No.
Well, what?
Nick, if you only knew about how we
you said it was a rough area back then, so I just figured it was like a rough high school.
Yeah, because you got different people from different hoods going to the same school. It's the only high school in Oakland.
What I mean.
So it wasn't really it wasn't really mainly all because of the teachers. It was because 2 incidents happened with teachers, and also because it's a lot of to understand what I'm saying, you gotta be from Oakland. You ain't gonna understand if you ain't living.
I didn't mean it in a bad way. I was just being serious. It'd be hard to be.
I'm being serious too. You ain't gonna understand if you don't live in Oakland.
Yeah, I wouldn't understand.
It's basically what you're saying that different people from different hoods.
It's a whole lot of
rivalry, basically.
It's a whole lot of politics that go on in them high schools that people don't understand.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. If there's different people from different gangs.
People was bringing guns, drugs, everything up in there, man.
Yeah, I bet.
And like I said, I was with it. I was with it back then. So
it just sucks that you got all the way to grade 12 and didn't bother getting your diploma.
I got my GED.
That's good.
Yeah, so you went back.
Not that it's worth anything because you got people that's going to college paying for whole degrees and they ain't getting it. It don't mean nothing to them.
I know it's stupid, bro. College is such a scam.
It's worthless, bro.
It is worthless.
Like I say, man, you basically get indoctrinated. You go in there, you get indoctrinated. You believe that stuff for years, and then you go off. You try and get a job in a good field, and they tell you, "Oh, you're too qualified or you're underqualified," and then you find out that your degree is just, why do you think they make you wear the cap and gown? Where do they do that?
Not only that, bro, but say you want to go to college for computer science or something. They'll have you learning 2 years of North African lesbian poetry or something that's completely has nothing to do with what you're going to learn.
Did you know that whole cap and gown graduation thing is a Masonic ritual?
I believe it. I didn't know that, but I guess I would believe
it.
So
when people graduate, they're actually getting their degree, like the degrees of masonry, So that's why they indoctrinate people to believe in the stuff that they want to teach. That's why I was like, man, when I came out of everything, I tell people, you gotta start all over again. You gotta forget, what is that? What was that movie? Said I forgot that line. But you basically got to, forget everything that you learned in school and start over.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I feel like this. The only thing kids should be learning in school is how to read, write, spell, add, subtract, do math, all that other, science and all that. No, they don't need all that. You want to learn science? Come on, let's go outside. We're going to see how these trees grow. We're going to see
You
how these
actually do need that for specific things. Like you'll never become a doctor or a lawyer or anything like that.
They don't need to become none of that stuff, bro.
Well, you could. What's wrong with that?
Look, man, if I was to have kids, they going to be homeschooled and they going to be learning from the Bible. That's
I
me.
was homeschooled till grade 10.
Nothing wrong with getting a law degree, bro. You'll always have money if you get a law degree and never go hungry.
What? Lawyers are liars. They lie all the time.
Not all of them. You can work as you can get. There's so many different lawyers, dude. You could be a civil lawyer. You could be
lawyers
civil
will
rights.
Lie. Look, lawyers will lie to make money. That's their job.
You can be a civil rights attorney.
Somebody could be a whole gang banging murderer, and they pay a lawyer. And that lawyer will go and lie them out of a murder.
Bro, you don't have to be a defense attorney. I'm saying if you have a law degree, there's so many different fields you can
It's like the other way around. If they want to put somebody innocent behind bars, they will lie their way to get you in jail.
Yeah, you don't have to work in criminal law, though. There's so many things you can do with a law degree.
Yeah. What else?
There's business law. There's civil litigation.
Business law for what? You got to know what.
Dude, there's so many. You need to have lawyers for everything. Like, look, how many? I'll show you right now. How many?
I had a lawyer. I had what is that? Public defenders. I had a lawyer at one time, and I did better when I represent myself.
So there's criminal law, family law, personal injury, real estate law, intellectual property law, business, corporate law, estate planning law, immigration law, tax law, civil rights law. Like there's so many, dude.
Yeah.
A law degree, you can work any one of those fields too. I wish I had a law degree or something, man. If I didn't waste so many years of my life living that, I think I'm cool, sell drugs, stupid lifestyle, and not have to go back when I was older. And man, I wish I would have been a doctor right now. I was so interested in human anatomy and I would just love it, bro. But
I think like this way I think. If I didn't waste my life doing all the things I did, I would have been serving the Most High.
Well, you can still do that. You're doing that right now.
Oh yeah, I know, but it would have been a lot better if I would have been, raise up a child in the way which he shall go, and he shall never depart from it.
You can still do that. How old are you?
What are you talking about?
How old are you?
I'm already walking for the Most High.
I know, but you can still raise up a child.
I had to get my butt whooped a couple of times by him spiritually for me to understand.
I'm saying you can raise your own child up in the right way. Like, how old are you?
What are you talking about? I'm about to be 40 years old, bro.
Well, what? You can still have a child at that age. Men can have children when they're like 90.
I don't want no children in this day and age. No. I'd have been knocked somebody's shoulders off their head.
Oh man, you should just become a gospel rapper.
Nah, I don't rap no more.
Get back into it. Rap for God, yo.
Nah, I can't do that because it ain't for him. I'd rather keep telling the truth until the day I die.
Yeah, well, that's cool, man. Whatever you're happy with, that's all good. At least you're not running around in the streets anymore. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's fun hanging out with you. It's been 3 hours, so it's good to see you again, Melvin.
Come by more often, Melvin.
Yeah, come by more often, bro.
I ain't gonna be able to. I'm about to start back work on what's his name, Tuesday. I get off medical leave, so Monday is my last free day, and I'm gonna be in this house trying to get enough rest to get up for the next week. And
good luck to you, homie. Hopefully everything works out good with you. And I guess we'll stay in contact through Discord and everything. Me and Adam usually do a stream a night, so if you'd like to come by before Monday, you're welcome.
Melvin, I missed you, brother. Ask Nick. I always ask how you're doing.
Yeah, he was always asking about you.
Yeah. This just been, it ain't been my year this year.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for this year to go by and see what next year brings.
I love Melvin, even though we butt heads sometimes.
I don't care about none of that, Nick. You'll come around.
Yeah, you'll get me one day. One day I'll be a flat earther for sure.
It's not even about being a flat earther. It's about, you know, if this is how I see it. I don't see it as a like flat earth debate thing. I see it as, look, man, if I see something that's true, I'm gonna tell somebody that.
Yeah.
If they got a choice to believe it or not. But I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to you because we already getting lied to. And I ain't gonna do that to nobody because that ain't what the Most High would want me to do.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
can't do that. If I feel like it's true and the Most High showed me it's true, then I'm gonna talk about it. Whether people don't like it or not, I'm gonna still talk about it.
That's true, bro. Maybe one day I'll see the truth. I'll see the light. You'll get me.
Nah, I ain't saying it like that. Maybe you'll see what I was saying and then you'll try and do your own research. That's all I do. I want people to do their own research.
I've already gotten into more of the
do your own research from a non-biased position.
I've already gotten more into the lost books and stuff because I'm working on a book. I'm working on an Enoch video.
Corey wants to say something. She's standing right here by me.
Melvin, maybe you'll see our way. And you'll come
maybe.
But look, this is what people fail to realize. I was in that same boat too, believing that the earth was a ball and all like that. I didn't grow up believing that the earth was flat. Obviously, something had changed my mind.
Yeah,
something got me questioning stuff. Like I said, when I asked the Most High that question in my backyard, man, he gave me all the answers I was looking for.
What did he give you? What did he make you think?
Remember, I told you about the whole little thing.
The moon thing?
No. When I told y'all, when I said I was sitting in the back of my yard and I was sitting back there and I was like, I thought I would. At the time, I was just speaking to myself, like, I wonder if God actually created any other life out there.
Yeah.
Tell us. And then after that, went about my day. Like I said, my YouTube used to be full of all music videos. I didn't watch nothing else but music videos. And then one day, all these UFO videos start popping up in my feed. And I'm looking at them. And then I'm like, oh, maybe he is telling me they real. And then it was like, nope, it threw me a curveball. And it was like, now it's getting into the government, how the government covering stuff up. Now it's getting into Freemasonry and stuff. Now it's getting into the music industry. And it's like every which way he was pulling me out. Because like I said, I was rapping back then. I wanted to be a rapper. He gave
You
me
a rapper?
Yeah. He gave me that dream about what they did in the music industry with them two silhouettes of people with them two records, and they went in that back room and started doing that ritual. And at the end of my dream, it said Jen. And when I woke up and I looked up I'm like, yeah, the Most High showing me something.
That's crazy because I seen that video that was made in like the 80s. I was still trying to find for you, where the guy actually talked about them taking the masters of the record they pressed, the master's copy, and going into like a huge pentagram that was like drawn on the floor, and they had like a high-ranking witch or warlock or something come in.
They put it on the master, and then they do their ritual, and then
dude, like you told me that was a dream. That gave me like goosebumps. I seen a video of an ex-Satanist literally telling me that, like basically your dream, word for word. So I fully believe that.
Like I said, I have never heard that video, but I remember that dream still to this day. And I had that dream in 2014.
One thing I've learned about Melvin is he does not lie.
Hey, Melvin, join us.
Yeah, come back, Melvin.
Yeah, dude.
I really get you from your deception.
I'll come back. Yeah. I'm already taking out the deception, Nick. I'm trying to pull you out. trying to pull you out.
Is this the
Yeah, Nick.
Yeah, I know. He's been trying for a while.
He's trying to save us all.
He will one day.
No, but for real, on a serious note, man, I don't be looking to be confrontational about it. I just want people to like be open minded, because people do themselves a disservice when they close their mind and they think one way and they say, okay, there ain't no other possibilities. This the only way it has to be. That's how I used to be. Like I said, man, when I start looking at all this stuff and I start finding out the aliens is really and space wasn't what it was, because all the astronauts keep saying, go back and look at that footage of Buzz Aldrin and them sitting there when they came back from the moon and they did that interview. If they did some big achievement, they would have been ecstatic. They would have been,
that was creepy, dude. They were like so nervous and stuff.
Because they had to lie.
Yeah, I remember
They had to lie to the whole world. They had to.
Yeah, there is something about that. Like that's like even though I'm not a flat earther, like the whole went to the moon thing, like I don't know.
But the whole reason they did that was to prove what?
Oh my! I think I just found the video. Bro. You gotta watch this, Melvin. I'm gonna link it to you. It's long. It's like 3 hours long, so I'm gonna drop the link. This is the video.
Just play it from here.
For 3 hours?
No, go to the spot where he's talking about whatever he's talking about.
This is the video. This guy like describes the dream that you had.
You look like Jordan Bush.
Passage tell you. He said, I am affiliated with people that speak with the spirits of the dead.
I don't know where the part is.
And at that time, he says, he doesn't work for a typewriter, a paper in there. It was,
and what came out?
Just link
what
it
was
to
it that
me.
came out?
This guy describes the dream, bro, that you had.
Okay.
Because he was most capable.
Y'all remember the
capacity to
point
help
where
the
it was
living
at?
here on Earth.
I'm trying to skip through it, but
77 Adventist. And that's where I was working at the time.
You were just 72 hours away, as Karen mentioned a moment ago. You had prayed.
And then the needles put them in there. And when it skips, you got to stop, back up. I can't get it out of my mind about this. The fact is, a Christian keeps the seventh Sabbath, keeps the Bible Sabbath. And it was time to go out for the coffee break. Because it was pleasant about it. And I said, thank you. I'm sorry if I.
We did.
It probably might show up in one of them headlines.
And
it probably might show what.
And I said, hey,
what topic they on.
You guys like the Bible? Or are you getting tired? No. We like to study the Bible.
No, there's no.
Karen Houghton of Heart Research Center.
There's no like time breaks in this video.
Let's now watch.
What I'm saying is, they got that little strip that's
right?
talking about
yes, I had a permit to carry.
Oh, the transcript.
Yeah, it's showing like.
Yeah.
Like that. It's showing like you don't remember what was right there before you talked about it.
It cleans your mind. And interesting. He said, would you like to come with us? It's the night on. Then, as I came home, I've been suffering. He says, you see, the Lord had held back. I woke up in the morning.
Link that to me. That's a decent video. I'll listen to.
And he fled to the land of the Arameans. I'm just what do you call
Coffins?
No, the wagon.
Oh.
So I jumped up on the.
Where is it?
The minister says, how's things going? To talk to the Lord about it. Evidence and the power of the Creator. They're defiling.
This must be just someone like, what's his name? Roger Morneau. I'm going to put in that guy's name and then music industry, because that just looks like a video of someone like interviewing him. I can't believe I found that guy, dude. Roger Morneau. Here he is.
Yeah, because if you just put speaks about the music industry, then it'll just go to that clip.
Yeah,
it'll
that's
be easier to find it that way.
What I'm typing in. Roger Morneau, demon-possessed rock music intervention. Maybe this one. Well, Roger Morneau account. Oh, Satanism. Here, this one's only 3 minutes long. Let's see. Let's see what it says in 3 minutes and 38 seconds.
Now, you could tell I ain't never seen this video because this video looks super old.
It is old. That's what I was saying. I can't believe you were like telling me this. Your dream was like so similar to this.
There was a very, very popular big band leader.
Jazz musician?
band. Yeah. Very famous. He played a lot in Montreal, Canada, Vancouver, the big cities.
So, Roger,
like
you're at this
Montreal,
restaurant.
Canadian French.
What happened?
Well, after we were seated, the band leader says, "How long have you fellas been involved with sorcery?" And he shocked us a little bit. And I said, "Exactly what do you mean?" Well, he said, what you people are doing, talking to the supposed spirits of the dead. He says, this is silly.
And this man had been at the seance with you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And he's telling you that it's silly what you've just done.
He says, I want power. I go right to the source of power. And he says, how do you think that I became famous the way that I am? Well, I said, you must have had some good luck. Well, he says, there's no such thing as good luck. He says, there's either some power working for you somewhere, or you don't get ahead in this world. Not in my type of occupation. So it went from there. We got talking about spirit worship. He said the supposed spirits of the dead that you're talking with are demon spirits. You're fallen angels. You're beautiful beings.
Just set it out, just like that.
Oh yeah.
It didn't make you uneasy when he said they were.
Well, it shocked you a little bit,
No, it's true.
He said, you guys have got a great future ahead of you. Because we've been told, the high priest of our society, secret society, has been told that the master...
You see how he said they are beautiful beings? That's how you know this guy's telling the truth, bro. Because they'll masquerade as like beautiful beings.
Yeah, he mentioned in that master. You know who the master is, right?
I don't know. Satan, maybe. I don't know. Who's he talking about? But he's not going to, they're not going to show up.
The master is that machine they put. The master is that machine they put the record. At first, they used to do it by ritual. Now they got a big machine that they put it in, and then they got this. What is that? What do they call that? You know, that thing that like it got like the waves or whatever that machine is. But now that's how they use it when they conjure up a entity.
That's so crazy.
They do their little ritual now, and they put it. They do it around the master. It's like
that's crazy, bro.
A big machine they do it around now instead of in the playground.
I just hope this is the clip.
It has very special plans for you too.
Now, what did he mean by the master?
Satan. And we were interested to hear more about it. And he told us, he says, look, we worship spirits. We worship Lucifer and all his angels. They're just as beautiful as they did before they were cast out of heaven. He says there was a misunderstanding in the whole thing. He says among the inhabitants of the galaxies. And he says our master was misunderstood. And God did not bear with him like he does with people.
This is another dangerous thing. When they know the Bible better than you know it, that's when you need to get your head up in there.
Yeah. He's trying to say they were like saying to him, like, no, there's a misunderstanding. Like Satan was the good guy and all this.
That make mistakes today. So we're in a warfare, good against evil. And we happen to be the evil ones, but we're not that bad. He says, I look at this business between the forces of good and evil. He says, you believe in one person believes in God, and everyone believes in Lucifer. It's like politics.
So the great controversy is real. And you've heard someone talk about it. That's
will not return to this planet with power. That Christ will have the king. Lucifer.
Okay, dummy. This isn't the one. Obviously, that's not the clip about the music industry. Demon Possession Rock. want to hear where he talks about them taking the masters.
What can we do for our young people?
The one where he's talking about your dream.
That the people who experience the rock music ensnarement.
Drop the link in the comments.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it.
Yeah, you might have
base
you might be
40
looking for a while, bro.
This isn't the full.
One of their honeymoon.
This isn't the full video.
Hey, this is our honeymoon. That the spirit of the Creator could, that they will captivate every young person that enters that area to cry. They go down the road and they see that were unbelievable. Into her hair, it was a cassette player.
Oh.
Powerful spirits have found an avenue to control your minds.
This isn't the same video I saw, but he might be talking about the same thing here.
Emotions. See? Here's the way it goes. The high priest said that the demon spirits love to play games with Christians. First of all, they love to move upon people's imagination and to create strong feelings of anger, fear, love, and grief. Until one day, Daddy phoned me up, and I heard go down the hallway, and he came, her up and cleaned her up.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to link you the Coming Aliens and Sunday Worship. Satanism in music. Well, that isn't this the one we just watched? Look at this. This guy says Satan taught Charles Darwin the theory of evolution.
Yep.
How crazy is that?
And it all ties in to the big bang. Telling you, man, I don't be just saying this stuff and be saying it. That there go your other evidence right there.
And it wasn't probably
one of the ones on the inside now.
Hold back.
Yeah.
And
well, I don't.
This way, he says it's the most intriguing thing to his mind. And he went on saying, the spirits, immortal soul.
He loves it.
Is the mayor of Montreal, because he says spirits. Then he boasted about the fact that the master was so smart, and that he had deceived the whole world, even in this age of great scientific knowledge and understanding. Then one person put his hand up.
Just talking about that.
Because I had all of this experience of the supernatural that I'd gone through for again. He says, yeah, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. And she read the question and said, then
a prayer to God. What gave you the sense?
Evil.
See, and this the Lord this is the ones that see, even though they break free from the stuff, they still be carrying. They still carry that agenda that they want to carry, because they'll go out and tell you. They don't care. They'll go out and tell you.
Yeah, for sure.
He telling it from their side. So now, like, that's what I mean when I say, when I read stuff or I see stuff, and I'll be like, okay, I tie it back to whatever the Most High showed me. Like he showed me in that dream. Like I ain't never seen that video, but then when I looked up that word jinn after I had that dream, I'm like, man, this word actually exists and it tie in with a demon. Oh nah. That was the day I learned I need to start all over again. And that's what I did. I washed my mind free of all they lies and just started looking at what the Most High said. And that's the only way that's going to work. That's the only way, man. Can't believe nobody down here, especially in this day and age. We living in the last days when deception going to be running at an all-time high.
Yeah, for sure. Lucifer says we have to make sure humans get to believe Satan. Satan's plan.
See, I wouldn't be surprised if they got rid of him, because
we have to make sure that
he's talking about too much. He's telling everything. They probably got rid of it.
That they did not want Satan.
And he said that every teacher of that theory is recognized by the spirits as a person of great value, recognized by the
teacher of
he said that anyone that teaches a
even
theory,
worse, he going to the Christians and tell them
creation week of the Bible,
protect themselves and armor them up to what's going on.
Yeah.
I really want to like find. Oh, ex-Satanist sells 3 signs of a witch spell in music tape. What's this? This isn't the same guy.
Too long, so you can look at it later. On them, sealed in wax, red wax. The only
What?
This that other dude. I seen him before. This was this dude. I seen this
What's
dude.
his name again?
I seen this dude after I had that dream.
John Todd.
London Embassy.
Yeah, go back to the beginning. He gonna talk about
he
it.
got killed by taken out.
And storyteller in the world. That's what our televisions have done to us. They've gotten us to a plane of mind that we do not realize the real world around us. When I talk in many youth rallies,
Well, I gotta go. Like we've been sitting here for like over 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So like,
no, just play this before we go. Just play this before
it's an hour long, dude.
No, just play the first 15 minutes.
Christian schools.
He's already right there.
Their television and rock
I remember this video. This is the one I had
experiences that
seen
I've had with
after
them in the occult world.
my dream.
And then from there, we try to build them up with real heroes. The number one being Jesus Christ. But I come from a family where I grew up having my own heroes. My number one hero was my great, somewhere way back there, grandfather, named Francis Collins. Francis Collins owned the first ship that Puritans landed in here. It just so happened that 50% of the people on board were also witchcraft people fleeing from Scotland. And they were called the Collinses. They were all his family, and that's how all witchcraft came to the United States. So when I grew up, I was being trained how great my family was, that it was the second most important family in the Illuminati and the occult world, and that someday I'd be very important and so on. So I had my own heroes. And television didn't help much. The reason I'm so down on television is I grew up around the television world, on the insides of it. When I was just a teenager, Hollywood paid for my way out to California so that I could bring a couple of diaries
talk about it right here.
that belonged to my family that I had inherited by will as the last male heir of the Collins family. If you wonder why that fits with Todd's, the Collins family changed their name about 100 years ago to Todd to cover up some of the things that they had done. But I'm sure some of you will remember the show Dark Shadows. That was the show that paid for me to come to Hollywood to bring the diaries. Many of the scripts were taken from actual incidences in the diaries. And for instance, Barnabas Collins was based upon a man named Francis Williams Collins, a Revolutionary War hero. When I was growing up in the occult world, we were always taught that we had been somebody else before. It wasn't good enough that we were the person we were now. We always had to be a dozen people that we were before. We had to deal with this life and all the ones we were supposed to have had before and all the ones we were going to have in the future. And I was supposed to be in Francis Williams Collins. So I said that's who they based Barnabas on, so I wasn't exactly the nicest guy in the world. I grew up this way. When I was 13, I was taken into what is called the outer court to be trained as a priest in witchcraft. That had been like your pastor who just stepped off, or better yet, more like the youth director or something. When I was 18, I was initiated a high priest. That would have made me the pastor. At the same time, I became draft exempt. I did not have to go into service, but a bunch of us smart aleck young, I have to correct the pastor, not warlocks, but wizards and witches, went into the army because we felt the army really needed witchcraft. It just couldn't get along without us. And since the army didn't think that they needed any chaplains that were witches, we just kind of went in on our own. So I went on in, along with a lot of others. I never did anything, I guess, halfway.
What's that?
Everybody in my family, and this makes sense now. I ain't never hear that part. But like I said, everybody in my, mostly, not everybody, but most of the people in my family that I talked to that was in the military or it had any involvement in the military, when I talk about the Most High to them, you should see how they act. I swear, it's like something just take over them, like a demon or something. Keep them, and then it's like once you start talking about the Most High, a demon come out.
Wow. You playing it now?
Yep.
I got in Vietnam, found out I liked Vietnam so well, I was willing to re-enlist. In fact, I'd already signed the papers to stay for another tour in Vietnam when I became wounded in the last month of the first tour, and I was shipped back to the United States. My time was almost up, so I was discharged, and the same day I re-enlisted. I asked for Vietnam, and they said because of my wounds that hadn't totally healed yet, I couldn't go to Vietnam yet, so I got Germany. Now, I had re-enlisted for 6 years, and until the time of my re-enlistment, I always thought that witchcraft was just witchcraft. There was nothing more to witchcraft than just casting spells, and that we were smarter than the Christians and other religions because we really knew who the gods were, and we were born with special powers because our ancestors had passed them down to us, and all the little stories they like to tell us. Witchcraft was a little different at that time. When I first got into it as a young person, you had to be from a family that had generations after generations of witchcraft. In order to be a coven member at the time, you had to have 3 generations at least, while the minimum that I had that we could find was 7. So there wasn't any problem, and we knew it went past that where there weren't records kept anymore. But that was all witchcraft was. As I tell many people, when many of you were raised as Christians, and I guess that's why I can't understand why some of the Christian teenagers are the way they are today. If they were raised in this glorious gospel, why they're so rebellious. I would have given anything to have been raised this way. But when you were learning the 23rd Psalm, I was learning the witch's chant. When you were reading about Moses opening the Red Sea, I was reading J.R.R. Tolkien. When you guys were learning different memory verses and so on, and the 4 spiritual laws and the 10 commandments, I was having to read C.S. Lewis. Of course, I've been greatly surprised that Christians read that too. But this is the way I grew up, and this is all I believed in, was just that there were mighty gods and we were spatial people. We were their priests and priestesses until I re-enlisted. I went to Germany, spent a month home, went to Germany, spent another month. 2 months out of a 6-year enlistment. One night while taking drugs and drinking, I shot and killed an officer in downtown Stuttgart. Now, if there's one thing that the Army does not like, it does not like its sergeants killing its officers. They have a quick cure for that. They threw me in solitary confinement.
All right, guys, I'm going to sign off and head to bed.
All right, bro.
It looked like I was going to spend the rest of my
Have a
life
good
awesome
night.
working if I was lucky.
Yeah, have a good one, bro. I want to go too. I'm tired of sitting in this freaking chair.
All right, Nick. All right, Adam.
Hey, Melvin, I'm going to find that video for you because it was your dream.
No, you saved this one. This dude, he's saying the same thing. He's saying the same thing. You just ain't got it yet.
But this is crazy, man. I'm going to save this video. I'm also going to find the other one. I'm going to give it to you in Discord, all right?
Yeah, John Todd, he got offed. He divulged too many secrets and they killed them off.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch this. I'm definitely going to finish watching John Todd. I'm also going to find that other one and link it in your Discord.
Yeah, because John Todd, he talking about the master and everything, how they do all that. It's the same thing that the other dude's saying, so it's going to be like a verification for you.
Nice. All right. Sorry, I was just talking to the audience. Thanks for everyone in the audience that stuck around and watched for like 3.5 hours. You guys are awesome. Yeah, make sure you give the video a like, check out the links, and we'll see you guys.
Yeah, and Melvin, come back, bro. Come back.
Yeah, come back sometime, Melvin. Hopefully before you go back to work on Tuesday, you can come join us again, brother.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching. Tell Corey I had said good night to her there. Adam, thank you, bro. God bless everyone.
God bless.
You guys have a good night. Bye.